As the leader of the Booner Pad, I lead from the front.
All right, boys. Lock in.
It's our core foundation, man. Grit.
I'm fired up. I'm fired the fuck up, boys.
It's pumping right now. It's got my juice pumping, boys.
Welcome to Crunch Time Sports with Jeff Iafrate and Booner. It is Friday, January 23rd, and Booner is back. He's off IR. He's healthy. Way to battle. Way to battle, Boone.
Officially active. I'm back.
It's good to have you back, man. We missed you the last 2 days. Guy was just battling everything. Everything, guy. That's what happens, man. Those Michigan winners, man. Sickness spreading around. They got Boone.
I'll tell you what, too. The crazy part about it is I was like, I don't want to know the word for it, but like I was pumping myself up to everyone and like everywhere that, hey, I made it through this whole Christmas and winter. I didn't get hit. Everyone I know in my life got the flu, COVID, some type of disease. And I was like, I didn't get anything. I'm untouchable. Like nothing can get me. And then all of a sudden I was just working on Wednesday. And I put a piece of gum in. I was chewing a piece of gum, and then my stomach started hurting really bad. I said, oh, no, this gum really got me. It was not gum. It was probably the flu. And I don't know. How graphic can we get? I don't know.
You didn't have fun. You didn't have
projectile vomited in the bathroom. There's, I don't know if I should say that. And it came out both ends, and it was like, this is bad. Yeah, maybe too much, but this is bad. But I'm here. I'm alive. The doc started a rumor that I don't know if we should even. I got taken by ice. I did not. I'm here. Thanks to the doc for that rumor. But I'm alive. I look like I told you. I look like the dude from Tom Hanks. I have not trimmed my beard. I haven't done anything, and my hair.
Tom Hanks stranded. You're stranded. You look like you're stranded.
Yeah. So tomorrow morning I'll wake up, I'll go get a haircut, get a nice little trim up, and I'll be back.
There you go. You missed, I was texting you. You didn't really Castaway, Tom Hanks.
Castaway. Yeah, I think we had to watch that at school before.
You didn't really miss significant news. I mean, we'll dive into some of the topics that I do want you to address. I think the biggest one, obviously, the Amon-Ra St. Brown stuff, saying Lions fans don't know ball. You also missed a pretty significant retirement. Dan Skipper, the one, the only.
I texted you, as soon as it happened, I was like in my bed, half asleep. I said, there's no way I'm going to miss a Dan Skipper retirement show. It was like one of the most heartbreaking moments of my career. I love Dan Skipper, bro. I watched.
You see him
he's coaching the East-West Shrine. Like, dude, that's incredible. Hey, I hope, this is my biggest dream. I hope when Hank Fraley retires or leaves and gets an OC job, I hope it's Dan Skipper that's next up. Like Dan calling, hey, you are now.
Okay. All right.
Oh, come on, dude. He might be one of the greatest. Come on, dude.
Yeah, well, okay. I think now you're showing Dan Skipper.
Maybe too much. Yeah.
Now you're showing Dan Skipper favoritism.
Yeah.
All right.
That's on me. Hand up.
That's because I listen, Dan Skipper, one of the toughest SOBs on the Lions. Super tough. Wants to get into coaching. I'm not going to go as far as to say he's the next Hank Fraley, but I'm
saying the guy a chance. No, like can we
maybe he can be like an assistant offensive line coach somewhere and work his way up the ladder.
In Detroit.
Hank Fraley was coaching in the league for a long time before he got to the Lions.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Just give him an assistant online job in Detroit here. I think that'd be incredible for the guy. And by the way, too, like I watched so many videos over the last 24 hours of Skip, like in the same videos over and over. I thought they were like the greatest videos ever. Like that man, a lot of people around the league I don't think liked him. I loved Dan Skipper. Thought he was incredible. And it seems like every guy in that locker room and everyone there in Detroit loves him. I don't throw this word around lightly, even though I've thrown it out for a lot of just average players. Dan Skipper's a legend, man.
He's a fan. He's a legend amongst the fans. He really is.
He's like to me, like I'm trying to think of a couple players. Name some fan favorites in Detroit. Can you name a couple?
fan favorites in Detroit that had like a Dan Skipper-esque role. I would try and compare it to like someone that
DeAndre Levy.
Well, no. DeAndre Levy had some
like
crazy
him, yeah.
years in Detroit,
Okay.
but someone that's like
Fairly.
See, I mean, Fairly's pretty good. I hate disrespecting
Corey
Skipper.
Schlesinger.
I mean, okay, now
Am I putting him on too high of a pedestal here?
I would say I'm trying to think. I feel like the Pistons. I'm missing somebody that played for the Pistons that would be like a.
You know Pistons. He's like a Jonas Jerebko to me. I loved Jonas. I thought
you know what? In modern day, you know what he could be?
Jonas for three.
B-ball Paul.
B-ball Paul. Okay, I don't hate that. Even though I went at B-ball Paul last year.
A lot of fans love B-ball Paul.
I don't hate that.
But actually, B-ball Paul. Hey,
what about the Moose? Greg Monroe. Or Greg
Monroe also had
Greg Monroe. I apologize.
He also had some great years in the league. Not great, but he was a starter. Average double-digit points. So he's a fan favorite. He really is. And I think the conversation that I kind of based it around is, okay, Dan Skipper retired. Taylor Decker, we don't know what's going to happen. Probably, I mean, I would lean towards retiring, but we don't really know. All you're going to have left going into the offseason, essentially, assuming Taylor Decker retires, is Giovanni Manu and Penei Sewell at tackle. Those are your two tackles. So, you know what, Boone? I think that's where I kind of started to think. I'm like, wow. Even though Dan Skipper wasn't a world beater, you knew Dan Skipper could step in and play 3 different positions. They don't have that now. So Giovanni Manu, like, hey, bro, like you're going to be playing that Dan Skipper role this year.
Must have been a great show for you on Wednesday. You probably loved that show.
I really thought, I guess before I was like, man, I'm going to get to talk some Giovanni Manu. And then I started talking about it and I was just getting pissed off talking about it. Because he's going to have to play. He's going to have to be that Dan Skipper guy, He is.
Yeah.
Unless they bring in, which they'll probably bring in someone else. But as of right now, that he was supposed, technically, they gave him a chance to be Dan Skipper this year. Remember, they cut Dan Skipper? And then he was.
And then Gio failed.
He started against the Bengals and got manhandled against Trey Hendrickson. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they brought Dan Skipper back instantly, and they were like, we apologize, Dan, for ever doing that. We don't ever want to disrespect you again. And you know what? Shout out Dan Skipper, too, for retiring in a timely manner in January 26th or 21st and giving them some heads up. Shout out to Dan for that.
Yeah, he knew. I mean, he talked about. See, Taylor Decker got all the coverage, rightfully so. He's the Lions legend. I mean, he's been here his whole career. I get all that. Dan Skipper hinted at retirement in that Bears game as well. Like he was like, "Yeah, I think I'm done. Like I'm probably done." And no one really talked about it. Like he hinted at it after the Bears game as well. He's like, "Hey guys, I don't know." And then you also have to think Graham Glasgow, probably not too far away from that either. After his contract, probably retiring, so he doesn't have really much time left either. I don't know if fans don't really give a damn, but. You have a couple guys that are going to be on their way out soon. So I know this offensive line was getting younger, but it's going to get even younger than younger. It's going to get like rookie and maybe a free agent center. So that's how it's looking as of right now. I think Graham's got like one more year, so he'll probably finish it out, but he's not.
I again, I'm back. So here we go. You get a little bit of a taste of Booner. I just wanted off topic, Jeff. Tonight is outside. Crunch Time Sports is on 8 to 10. But the things we have tonight and just life in general, you have the Pistons Rockets on Prime. Unbelievable game. Michigan versus Ohio State. Trey Burke's retirement. Number 3 retired. I almost said RIP, not RIP, but all legend. One of my all-time favorite Michigan Wolverines of all time. One of the greatest to ever do it. Well deserved. Should have been a national champion. On the refs, rigged game. And then also, dude, I don't know if you saw this. Again, off topic. I apologize. I'm back. There is a guy tonight live streaming on Netflix, free climbing the tallest tower in the world. Live. Like if he falls, we watch it live. He is free climbing. Nothing on him. Hands just.
I saw that preview on Netflix, and I was like, I need to watch
tonight. He's doing it live tonight. The tallest tower live. Yes.
Why would Netflix allow that? I mean, live.
There has to be a delay, but that's one of the most incredible feats of all time to do it live. I'll say it, Netflix is one of the greatest to ever do it. They've taken comedians, they've taken some of the greatest actors like Ben Affleck and who's the one? Matt Day. Like they're taking all the best in the world and being like, just come do stuff with us.
Adam Sandler.
Come on. Adam Sandler now. They're taking the free climber and they're being like, hey, dude, like we'll just show you live on our platform. Like that's great content. And if like
podcasts, biggest podcast.
Oh yeah, podcast. Part of my take now. Like they're good, dude. They're good. I just watched Bert Kreischer. He did a comedy series. Shane Gillis. The Bert Kreischer thing. I watched the whole thing. It started off a little like, and it was good. Like I was like, by the end of it, when the first season ended, I was like, I need to see season 2. Like I need it.
Not a big Bert Kreischer guy.
That's okay. Wait a second. It got postponed. Is he okay? Did the guy?
He got postponed while he's climbing, or what happened?
I was so pumped, dude. I just wanted to see if this guy climbed, man.
Hey, by the way, can I say this too? So I took your advice. I watched Rip. I watched Rip with Matt.
You didn't like it, did you?
No, it was good. It was good.
I loved it. I thought it was incredible.
I liked the twist there was a little twist at the end.
It threw me off. I feel like I'm pretty good at telling endings. Nothing.
It just felt like it was like a different type of movie than you're seeing all the time, which I like. It's like a different vibe. It's like I liked it. Yeah, I did.
Yeah. I mean, they went on the Joe Rogan podcast and they actually talked about it, how they wanted to do something different. And it was, I thought it was a good movie.
Yeah, no, it wasn't bad at all. I wasn't going to go there. It wasn't like Now You See Me 3, which, I thought was that movie. So
you're a very hard critic with movies, man. It's incredible. Yeah. I'm very easy. Like I love movies, dude. I'll see anything and be like, that was so good.
Yeah, you're a movie. You love movies. I mean, you just appreciate the cinema. You appreciate the game.
Yeah.
You just watch it.
It could be the worst movie ever, and I'll be like, "There's something special in that."
You're like, Yeah. Honestly, I do respect. I respect the hell out of that.
I'll find something good in every movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are on right now. I know Pistons Rockets is on. That's a great. I mean, I can't blame people for wanting to watch that. If you're watching,
and then Ohio State, Michigan right now. It's the score is 6-9.
Nice. Michigan, Ohio State.
That was bad.
It has got to be a big deal for Wolverines fans, right? Like you got to get this one. I mean, I
honestly don't care. We're 14-1. It's Ohio State. I care less.
On.
What's crazy is Ohio State's like 13-3, so like pretty good. We're 15.5 point favorites. It's nuts, bro.
Yeah, that's you got to care.
You're not a Bert Kreischer fan.
No,
I could see why people don't like him. I'm not like the biggest, but I think Bert's like cool.
Yeah, I don't have anything against him. Just not really my type of comedy. Like I don't watch him and be like, oh my.
You like guys that wear shirts. I feel yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, like the other comedians. There's a lot of guys I like watching. Not a big Bird guy. You ever watch him on a podcast?
Yeah, he's very.
He interrupts everybody on a podcast.
Yeah, no, you know what? He reminds me of myself. So you know what? Maybe I do like him for a reason.
No, he's bad. He's really bad. Watch him on Rogan. Like he's in that way. Maybe not a human being way. He's a good guy probably, but he's maybe he has some Booner tendencies where when he has a thought, he wants to get it out. Maybe that's where you guys are similar. But he interrupts.
Other people understand. It's hard for me to hold back sometimes. Similar to probably Bert.
Yeah, but you're better than Bert in that way. He's a whole nother. He's different. And people in the chat, if they watch Bert, they probably know exactly what I'm talking about.
Is the chat still broken? Because I can't get any. I'm not. Yeah, getting any
I've actually been dealing with this. So while you've been gone, I've opened up a new tab and I look at the chat through that. It's okay. Yeah, I've been looking on YouTube because like the StreamYard stuff has been.
Oh, yep, there it is. Now I see it. He's Booner. Welcome back, Booner. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been like that. So,
what about Shane? Do you like Shane? I like Shane.
Shane
Gillis,
dude. I love Shane Gillis, dude.
Cool.
We all saw him and we saw him in person.
Yeah, It was good. It was nice.
I mean, one of the funniest. I think he's either him, Sebastian Maniscalco, and Shane Gillis are my two favorite comedians right now. Like, they've been
Shane,
Theo's up there, yeah. But like, those guys, I'll watch anything they do. And
there was someone I watched recently that had me laughing so hard. Can't remember who it was.
Yeah, not a big Bird guy. Honestly, by the way, love Joe Rogan. Not fun.
I think Joe Rogan is one of the hot take worst comedians.
No, not a hot take. He's not
okay
good.
Because he's like, people say how great he is, and he's so respected in the comedian world. Every time he's on Kill Tony, or he's doing something and he's like trying to be funny, I'm like, oh dude, that's just not funny. Like, I don't even understand your joke.
You ever watch it?
I feel bad.
We should have a punishment on something we do in the future where you have to watch an entire Joe Rogan special.
I would die.
To watch an entire Joe Rogan like comedy special.
Does he have specials?
Yes, a couple of them. Yeah, they're not.
He started his career out as a comedian. Like, that was like early in his career, like in the 80s, 90s. He was doing comedy, and I'm like shocked because like when he's in a room with like some of these good comedians, he doesn't even come close to them. It's like, wow.
Yeah, he's not. That's why he's on a podcast. Honestly, an amazing podcast, but that's why he's doing that. Okay, that's why he's talking about DMT with Joey Diaz instead of, what the other guys are doing. Yeah, he's not. He goes on like Kill Tony, but you don't see Joe like cracking a bunch of jokes on Kill Tony.
But he makes jokes there. He like laughs out so hard at his own jokes, and no one budges. Then I'm like, oh, dude, like this is secondhand embarrassment.
Hey, I wanted to. I saw this on Twitter, and people were trying to take like a victory lap over the Mike McDaniel stuff, and I wanted to know what you thought of it. So Albert Beer put out the Bills are interviewing new Chargers. Think of it like this: Bills are interviewing Chargers offensive coordinator Mike McDaniel for their head coaching job today, per source. McDaniel, of course, spent the last 4 seasons in the AFC East as the Dolphins head coach. McDaniel will join Jim Harbaugh. Will be Jim Harbaugh's OC if he doesn't land a head coaching job. So he essentially accepted the Chargers job, but they're allowing him to interview still because that Bills job is everyone's like dream job. You get to coach Josh Allen, and the Bills are very familiar with him. But I saw a lot of Lions fans, media basically tweeting out like, oh, if Lions fans would be pissed if this was happening, which by the way, they probably would be. But can we at least say this? Like, this is where I'm at with it, Boone. I don't know where you're at with it. When you bring in somebody, and by the way, this is what the rules allow. So I don't know. They haven't made it official yet that he signed the contract, so he could still.
Yeah.
But if you go out and get the best OC on the market, who's still in play for head coaching jobs, you kind of know what you're getting. You're getting someone that has a chance at getting a head coaching job. Like, I don't think Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers are like pissed at this. I think they understand what Mike McDaniel is. He's one of the hottest names as an OC. Like. You know what I'm saying? They probably are going to welcome him in with open arms. You know what I'm saying? If he doesn't get this Bills job, like they understand what it is. So I don't look at it like, whew, Lions dodged a bullet with this one. It's like, well, no, like if you're going to hire a guy like Mike McDaniel, like I'm sorry, and all due respect to Drew Petzing, like Drew Petzing ain't getting these interviews, bro. Like this is why Mike McDaniel's Mike McDaniel. Like he's going to take these interviews. So I don't have an issue with it. If I was a Chargers fan, I wouldn't have an issue with it. You know what you signed up for. But what'd you think of this? Are you kind of in the pool of that, or are you more like, ooh, Lions dodged a bullet?
No, I mean, I saw a lot of people. I woke up this morning or yesterday too. Just a lot of people who were kind of using this. I don't want to say I don't know if it's like a sympathy thing or what it is to like try and make yourself feel better that Mike McDaniel didn't, and then they didn't agree on taking the job in Detroit. But no, like this is when you're good at your job, this is what's going to happen. And yeah, like I think it might have been Corey that put it out. Was it Corey or a beat report put out and just said, like, if you were a Lions fan and this was happening in Detroit, would you have been mad at Mike McDaniel for this? Like, no, I'm right there with you. Like, I would not have been mad at all. I wouldn't. It's one of just more so of those things where it's like, hey, dude, like, we know what a head coaching job in the NFL is, and you can't be mad at someone for taking it. And that was why, like, I think me and you were on the same page with Ben Johnson this last year, taking the Bears job, with AG leaving. It's most especially it's that Bears job with Ben, where a lot of fans were mad. But it's like, dude, when you're taking a head coaching job, especially if you have options, you want the best one. But if you don't have options and you get one, you're not going to pass it up for an OC job at the end of the day. We had this conversation a couple of weeks ago. The only job you could have passed it up for is probably like the Bears job, right? Or not the Bears, sorry, the Browns job. Where like it's not that, you know, a lot of people are actually turning it down and withdrawing their name. Where the Bills, it's just like, dude, that's Josh Allen. Like you're gonna be a contender right away. And if you're Jim Harbaugh, if you're Harbaugh, you figure that out, and you'll have your OC job here if you don't get that job. It's as simple as that. But I wouldn't have been mad if he chose to come to Detroit and then was like, hey, I still have an opportunity for this Bills job. Because quite frankly, like if you get Mike McDaniel as your OC and he decides to take this interview and he does take the Bills job, everyone's a little mad. Guess who you end up with still? Drew Petzing. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I was thinking too. Like,
it's like I think it's more so just like, I don't know if it's like a coping mechanism, trying to compare this situation to, what if this was going on in Detroit? Like, no, like I think it's fair for Mike McDaniel to want to go out there and still get it. It's a head coaching job in the NFL. Like, what are we talking about? Why would anyone be mad or upset about that?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And I know Blitzing Lion says you don't know that, referring to Drew Petzing being available.
I do know that. I'm confident.
I
don't think there was Drew Petzing was not reported to interview for any jobs at the moment. No one even heard of the Lions one. That was a surprise.
The only job he would have been in play for as an OC would have been Kevin Stefanski, and he brought in his guy Tommy Rees.
He did. Yeah.
So, I don't even know if that was for certain. Like, he probably would have still brought in Tommy to be his OC. Like, that's a guy he was in Cleveland with. So,
welcome back to the show, Booner. Is Dunk talking about us?
Oh, sorry, I just closed it. What do you say? Just straight ignorant? No, I think they're arguing in the chat. By the way,
okay. I was like, welcome back to the show, Boone.
Mel, appreciate the 5. He says, did you see Sean Payton praise Johnny Moe and credited him for Frank Crumb TD, which the Lions ran the same thing during the regular season?
I did not know Sean Payton after the win was like, hey, shout out John Morton for coming over from the Lions and helping us out in this postseason. I would love to see the clip if someone could send that.
Here's the thing you guys got to understand here, okay? It's easy for someone like Sean Payton, who obviously he's an old school guy. You know, I bet he loves John Morton. John Morton's a little more old school. He's a grinder. Sean Payton probably loves him to be part of his staff because he knows he's going to grind. He knows he's going to grind the tape. He knows all of that. So, you know, in Sean Payton's position, he knows John Morton just got fired, so he's pumping his guy up. I got no issue with that. But if you're John Morton, you get your play calling duties taken away. Like, you weren't going to stay with the Lions, even if he does that very well. Even if he watches film very well and grinds tape. Like, Dan Campbell probably thought, like, yeah, for whatever reason, just didn't work here in the locker room, so we're going to get you out of here. That's what I think it was, because if the players loved him, he probably would have had a different role, but there was clearly some other issues going on. I just think he's a better fit with the Denver Broncos. I still think Johnny Moe knows offense. I don't think the guy's an idiot. He just didn't work here, and I have no problem with Sean Payton. I'm not going to say, oh, Sean Payton's an idiot. He doesn't know what he's talking about. No, Johnny Moe definitely has some value to Sean Payton, but guess what? Sean Payton's calling the plays. So he doesn't have to worry about Johnny Moe calling those things, man. Sean Payton's going to handle those. And now he's got to help out with Jared Stidham.
Hey, I love the Johnny Moe, man. I have no hard feelings for Johnny Moe. I think Johnny Moe's Johnny Moe.
Yeah, he's
I don't have anything negative.
I cannot believe, by the way, like, I don't know where this came from, but I saw Spencer. Shout out Spencer Axter. He tweeted
Shout out Spenny.
He said, I can't believe Lions fans, not all, but there were some on Twitter that were defending John Morton all of a sudden out of nowhere. And there were some people that were responding to Spencer's tweet, like, still defending John Morton. It's like, well, guys, I don't know how to get a pulse on this fan base.
This fan base is one of the most confusing fan bases of all time.
I get so confused sometimes because Dan Campbell hires Drew Petzing, people like myself and you, and people are like, okay, that's an odd one. Like, that's a weird one. And then people are willing to die on the stand to defend Dan Campbell's decision, which is fine because they're loyal to the team. But then when the team fires John Morton, they're not loyal to the team. And they think John Morton's a great play caller. It's like, I don't get it. I mean, are we loyal to the team or are we not loyal to the team? Because Dan Campbell told the fans, this guy stinks. We're going to fire him. So everyone should collectively agree this guy stinks. If you really want to bring up the 30 points per game thing, you really didn't watch the entire season. And I'm not going to go Amon-Ra St. Brown on you and say you don't know ball. I'm not going to disrespect you.
I dare you.
But no, I will not do it. But what I will say is you didn't watch the Lions season this year. Dude, go look up what this team offensively averaged against top 10 scoring defenses. They weren't good against good defenses. Like, you put up all those points on trash-ass defenses. That's what John Morton and that's what he was doing early on. I mean, you're torching, the Bengals. You're torching the Browns. Like, for Dan Campbell to take his play-calling duties away, something had to happen. Like, he clearly didn't understand something. So I don't know why people would want to defend the guy. I don't understand it. He's not a good play caller. He's only been a play caller twice, and he's gotten fired both times. It's very simple. Blitzing line, I feel like y'all pick on 2 fans out of 100K and say, I literally just said blitzing line. It's not all the fans. There's just there's a reason.
Yeah. No, I mean, there is a part of the fan base when it comes to some of these things that are like very, very, I'm going to say something like if you have a negative opinion about the Lions, you're the worst in the world. And I'm going to say, anything decision that's made or anything that happens, I'm going to, be a slappy and it's going to, I'm going to stick up for the Lions, even if it's bad, right? Like, whether that's even 2% of the fan base, like, there's still a fan base. And especially I feel like for us and Spenny, who covers the team, and us who do it as a living, it's like, we see that as a very magnified way because of all the comments and people that, are even in the chat right now that are, that try and stand up for them when it's like, hey, what? Like, and a lot of it's just contradicting, you know what I mean? Like, again, to your point, like, a lot of people, Dan Campbell makes the move to fire John Morton, and they're like, well, we're sticking up for John Morton, but then the Drew Petzing thing, like you said, and they're like, oh, that's the best thing of all time. And it's just like a very contradicting thing. It really is. Yeah. It's really weird, to be honest. And honestly, it's like no matter what happens, no matter what move or how bad a situation is, like there's a group of Lions fans, and I would also say people who cover the Lions who are very, very good, extremely good at spin zoning it into something good. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's 100% hit rate. It really, and it's one of the most impressive things of all time. Honestly, it's one of the greatest skills I've ever seen. It really is.
Like spin zoning it into something good?
Every time. And I'm talking about, it's like there's a section of the fan base and also of the section of people who cover the team at the same time. And it's like when I have tweet alerts on for almost everyone who covers the team. When something bad happens, a firing or something, or like the hire, like when Drew Petzing, like, yeah, there are positives to the Drew Petzing thing. You see a lot of people talk about it now, but like 10 seconds after it happens, no one knows who it is. I mean, I get an alert of people who cover the team. They're like, I love this hire. It's like, you didn't know who Drew Petzing was 5 minutes ago. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like a good spin zone. And then those spin zones start coming out. And it's like, okay. But Lions fans do that a lot. We have a million of them that are in our comments, whether you see them or not, where you look at it and you go, wait a second. Like, let's get to reality. That's why I enjoy speaking with fans and people who are very down to earth about it. I think Spenny is. I think like Easy is, like, very down to earth. Like, hey, we can have a real conversation about this. And if it's bad, they're going to let you know. And if it's good, we're going to let you know as well. But it's more so the people where it's like, no matter what, if it's bad, we're going to let you know how good it is. I don't want to hear that.
That's why I've always said, and we've said this so much, like, I got a lot of respect for our media, the job they do. They provide us and the fans with information for us to talk about. We have them on all the time to give us insight to the team. Like, I love it. We have a lot of friends in the media. I'm not going to fault them and say they're, I will never be like, these guys are just slappies, because we got to be honest with it. Like, they're credentialed. They're not like, you're not going to come out and be like, this hire sucks. Like, they're just not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's a fact. Like, if you're allowed in the room, and the Lions gave a credential to you, you're not going to crap on everything they do. You're just not. That's not your job. I'm not saying, again, like, these guys are bright football people, but they're not going to do that. Even if they hired Booner to be the OC, they would have been like, I can see why. Like, I can see it. Like, because that's their job. They're not going to be like, the Lions, what the hell are they doing? Like, this is malfeasance on Dan Campbell's part. It's a fireable offense. Like, they wouldn't do that, because then PR would be like, you want to walk that one back, pal? You know, that's why I have no interest personally in being credentialed. I just don't, because I want to be able to be like, hey, Dan Campbell, you're an idiot, you know, or Brad Holmes, you're an idiot. Yeah, and you know, basically be free to do whatever as I please. But that's why we have guests on that can give us that input that we just don't have. You know, like Jeremy Reisman joins the show, Corey Woods, like those. I'm not saying those guys. Those guys are bright, very smart people, good friends of ours. But I'll never hold them, you know, and be like, these guys should talk more shit about the team. Like, they're not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to do that. So I respect it. It's their job. And by the way, speaking of what you said, D-Dunk says nobody is celebrating. This is, by the way, what you said, by the way, about spin zone. This is literally the spin zone. D-Dunk says nobody is celebrating the season. I was smart enough to see this being a rebuild year. That's why I didn't lose my shit.
See, that's the biggest lie of all time, because
now it's a rebuild year.
All of a sudden, yeah. And D-Dunk, you're probably a great supporter and all that. Like, no, you weren't. No one was like that. See, I've seen a lot of people that say that. I know for a fact no one was, unless you're a troll and you just hate this team. No one was genuinely like, people were like, yeah, hey, there's going to be concerns. Peter Schrager did say they weren't going to make the playoffs, which I respect. But like in the Lions fan base, the whole thing was you're at least going to make the playoffs. Like, you were a Super Bowl contender. It wasn't you're not going to make the playoffs. And like that's when I see those comments. That's where it's like, okay, now you're just what do the kids call a cap? It's a cap.
yeah.
It's a cap.
Yeah. You're capping. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
That's like those people who always got to be right, and then they say something, and they're like, "I said that." Like, no, you didn't. You're just saying that now.
Thing you're talking about, you know, like everybody's talking Super Bowl before the season. Lions players are talking Super Bowl before the season. Last season ends. Everything's Super Bowl, as it should be. They missed the playoffs. Nah, it was a rebuilding year. Only the Lions will have a rebuilding year in the middle of a window.
Yeah, that's just not a new. That's window. So unrealistic. See, listen, I can have good discussions with Lions fans. I don't care. Like, if you're on the opposite side of me, just let's not be like dumb about it. Like, let's not make things up. You know what I mean? Like, let's be realistic here. Let's have a real conversation.
Yeah.
And by the way, sorry, I'm looking down over here. I just got a clip I'm going to put on Instagram. KD going at it with the Pistons fan.
Shout out to Eric. It's too easy.
What if it was Eric? Shout out to Eric too, man. He went viral over the Cade video.
Dude, that video banged.
It did, yeah. I was like, oh my gosh, Eric.
3 million. It might be even more. I don't even know. Shout out. Eric's crushing, dude.
I'm just getting this. I'm getting this up because it's so good.
Yeah. So I mean, it's the rebuilding thing is a little ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, all these people commenting kind of agree with that. I understand Frank Ragnow was a loss. Like, I'm not saying that, but if you're gonna tell me that one player was the reason that you fell off a massive cliff and you missed the playoffs, like, this team wasn't as good as we thought it was, if we're being honest. Like, if that's really what it comes down to, I mean, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand Frank's impact. I understand the O-line was going to struggle, but that's also on your GM for not having a better plan for that. I mean, you can lose a player like Frank Ragnow and be better prepared for the season. Like,
100%.
I think that's where people are going to like blame the Ragnow and Zeitler thing, which I understand. That's a massive loss, but that's on your GM, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be like, well, we just lost Frank Ragnow and Zeitler, so it's a rebuild year. Dude, you still have four All-Pros on your team. You had 4 All-Pros on your team, balanced, by the way, 2 All-Pros on offense, 2 All-Pros on defense. You had Jahmyr Gibbs, Brian Branch for 12 games. He wasn't there for the whole season, but 12 games. Like, and you still sucked or missed the playoffs. So, I don't know, man.
I just don't think, like, logically, some fans –
they just want to chalk it up and be like, Frank Ragnow retired, so that's why.
Yeah, it's again, I like the word. I love this word, and I think it fits all these situations with Lions fans, but or with not all Lions fans, but a handful. Coping, I think it's.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that Frank Ragnow would be a massive blow. Like, clearly, yes, yeah. I understand not having Frank Ragnow affects your offense. I understand.
Yeah, like Schiff said, and listen, I think again, and when we say these things, like when I do, Jeff, you know how much respect I have for Brad Holmes. I think he's done an incredible job. I've gotten arguments with you about him, but like Schiff said, they're afraid. People are afraid to criticize Brad Holmes, like that, and he said they're savior, but people are afraid to criticize Brad, and when they see people do it, they get mad, and then they put a wall up and they try and make you look like a bad guy for just calling out like facts what it is. It's the same thing, honestly. And can we just get into it now, because I know it's a segment later and I missed it, and we can just rearrange the topic.
Yeah,
it's the same thing with the Amon-Ra St. Brown stuff. I missed it.
Play it again, or you just want to talk about it?
We could just talk about it. I think the people already saw the video because I was out for the last 2 days, but I think it's the same thing with the Amon-Ra St. Brown stuff. And I think a lot of people, again, the amount of respect I think that we have for people who cover this team and friends that we have in the industry and even fans that we're friends with and people, like the comments that I've seen, it's actually quite shocking to me how many people try and take victory laps when Amon-Ra steps up and goes, oh, yeah, no, you like, relax. Like, why don't you have, like, I think it's one of the most ridiculous things because there's a lot of people, fans, again, I'm going to keep saying it and I feel bad. And Jeff, I hope, you know, like, and I hope people who, like, all these people who come on the doc, I love all of them. I just don't like the fact that people like try and put this wall up and say like essentially, what's the word I'm looking for, Jeff? Like, say what fans are allowed to have opinions on, right? If a fan has a negative opinion, you know, a lot of people who cover the team or even players like Amon-Ra have, you know, form this opinion that they're the worst person in the world for having.
It seems like it's like you're policing people from expressing.
Yes. And I tweeted at some people about this recently and went at it with some people on Twitter that cover the team. I've gone back and forth with people about it. That it's like, hey, can you stop? Oh, gatekeeping. Yeah. Cause that was actually the word I used when I was going back and forth on Twitter. The word I kept using was, can you please stop gatekeeping Lions Twitters when someone has a negative opinion about the team? Yeah. It's one of the most frustrating things, in my opinion. And I'm one of the more positive people, I think, in this world.
You are.
And I've always been the last 3 or 4 years as I've been in this world and gotten a little bit of, you know, a little bit bigger. But the one thing I can't stand, and I've tried to, and the doc's called me out for it before, and I've changed my ways. But like telling fans to relax or this, because I did it 2 years ago. I told the fans to relax. Doc even called me on the side. I said, Booner, you can't do that. You got to let fans have an opinion. And it hit me like, you're right. Like, just because it's a different opinion than me doesn't mean it's wrong or it's not, or it's right. Either way. And I think the fact that Amon-Ra said that, like, I love Amon-Ra, dude. Like, he's one of my favorite Lions of all time. I wasn't the biggest fan of him telling fans, hey, relax, because I think fans genuinely have a reason to push back a little. And that's the fun part about being a fan, is you can push back a little. And I think in our fan base a little bit, and I think in the Lions world, I think there's too many people who are too comfortable when people do push back. People always try and find an excuse and try and make that person look like the bad guy instead of being like, oh, maybe that is an issue, right? Like, yeah, I think Drew Petzing is a decent hire. Again, me and you have been in agreement that it's not as bad as a hire as John Morton. And I said, I think you get a bigger leash with Drew Petzing because of what he is and what he brings to the table. And I think he's going to work out. Like, I do. But I'm not mad at the people who are questioning it.
Yeah.
I think it's very fair. Dan's only had one good OC in his time here in Detroit. So I think it's fair for people to be like, what's going, like, and again, what did I say last week before I got sick, Jeff? This offense really isn't even the problem. It's really just a couple small things offensively, finishing in the red zone, short yardage things, and as well as like the third quarter 3 and outs. Like, those are the only big issues that this offense has. They're a top 5 offense still. My issue really it doesn't even have to do with Drew Petzing. It has to do with Amon-Ra calling the fans out, and then people trying to step up and take victory laps like, oh, Amon-Ra is right. I'm so glad Amon-Ra called everyone out. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it's like,
Amon-Ra, like, fans should be allowed to say whatever they want to say.
Some of those people, it's like, dude, get off your knees, man. Like, some of those people, it's like, really. And trust me, I agree with everything you said. I think people should be able to express. They're called fans for a reason. Okay, it's short for fanatic. These people are psycho, and that in the most respectful way. Like, we're all psycho. Okay. Being a fan of anything is based on emotion. You know, you react to things. It's the greatest thing. It's the best thing about sports is you're high, you're low, you're high, you're low. You have to, you know, that's what sports is, bro. Like,
yeah.
And I think for Amon-Ra, it came off super arrogant. And I think the issue I have is the consistent arrogance that I'm seeing from some of these people. Okay. That's like Jared Goff. It pisses me off that fans don't believe in us. Hey, bro, you guys are on your couch. Like, so
well, he came back a week later and cleared that up and was like, yeah, that's on me. I understand that fans should be mad.
Amon-Ra, it's like, the Lions fans don't know ball. Like, a lot of the same Lions fans did not like your previous OC who you guys fired. You probably loved him, Amon-Ra. So 1-0 fans on you guys.
100%.
Were you a fan of Anthony Lynn? By the way, you're in a different position, Amon-Ra. The Lions cut your checks, bro. You're not going to publicly come out on your podcast. Same thing I was talking about with the media. Amon-Ra's not going to go on his podcast and be like, don't love it.
I think just telling fans that they don't know ball and to relax in that sense. Like I could understand like the trust. Like what I could understand and if Amon-Ra came out and said this, like talking to the fan base, hey guys, trust, telling the fans, hey, to trust Dan, we're gonna be better. I love it, I do it. But it was the part of, I think once he started throwing in there, fans don't know ball, they don't know what they're talking about, they're too quick to react, relax. Once you start getting into those terms, I think it changes a little bit of the way you're hearing it. Because I think it's fine for players to like pump up a little bit. You know what I mean? Like try and get fans to be excited about a guy, right? Like if you're going into a season, you want fans to get excited about the season. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think it's just more so the part of being like, hey, you don't know ball. Like half of you guys don't even know ball anyways. Why are you commenting on it? I think that's where it gets a little. Super. And then there's the people like who cover the team who are like, yeah, like most of you guys who comment about this don't even watch football, or you guys never even coached football. You never did that. Like, dude, like shut up. Like, I think that's the most like arrogant stuff people can say. It's just like, let people have opinions without trying to be like, oh, I'm better than you at that. Like, what?
Yep.
It's one of the things like on ESPN and stuff, and you saw it with Peter Schrager and Ryan Clark. When Ryan Clark's like, I played football, you didn't. And Peter Schrager's like, what? Like, all right. And then it went viral. Everyone's like, what's wrong with Ryan Clark for doing that? It's like, it's just not something that like, let people have opinions. You know what I mean? I see it all the time in the NBA with, I know I'm going down a rabbit hole right now, Brian Windhorst, where people are like, oh, dude, like, you don't even look like you ever played basketball. It's like, dude, the guy loves the game. Like, if someone loves it, let him do what he loves to do. Like, just because he might not have played it or he looks like he hasn't played
Rich
it.
Eisen?
Yeah, like, who cares, dude? Like, some people just love it, and they don't. Doesn't mean they have to coach it. Doesn't mean they have to have played at a high level. Some people love it. I never played in college or anything. Played in high school, but like, it's a crazy concept to me where people aren't allowed to have opinions and they don't know ball because they have an opposite opinion.
Well, that's the true.
It's one of the dumbest things of all time.
That's the true gatekeeping thing.
I see it all the time though on like Lions Twitter. It's incredible.
There's some great coaches right now in the NFL. And at different levels that have never played, professional sports, or great minds that have never played professional sports. I mean, it's like, guys, like, and that's the thing I've always, I laugh at the face of people that bring that shit up because it's like, it's athletes, some athletes and people just being on their high horse, like, and again, like, it starts at the top with this Lions organization. Brad Holmes is the first one to be arrogant. Let's be real. Like he was arrogant. Dan Campbell's been pretty good for the most part. I mean, the "we're good" thing is probably where people get pissed, but Dan Campbell's never came off like arrogant. It was Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like, and I don't mean this. I mean this respectfully to Dan Campbell. But when Amon-Ra says, guys, like, just trust Dan Campbell, what are you talking about? Trust Dan Campbell with what? OCs? He's 1 for 3, bro. I mean, okay, what else? Have you guys won a Super Bowl? I'm sorry, did I miss it? Did I sleep through the game? I mean, I'm confused. It's not like you guys rattle off 2 or 3 Super Bowls and it's like, bro, trust Dan Campbell. All right, no, you're right. I'll trust Dan Campbell. Dude, you haven't won a playoff game in 2 years, dude. Like, yeah, you're home. You're flying to Cancun next week. Okay, I don't need to. It's not about trusting Dan Campbell. Like, clearly, yeah, you want to trust your head coach, but like, I just didn't like it. I didn't like the arrogance of it. I don't like the arrogance of a lot of these guys on this team. It pisses me off. Aiden Hutchinson, like we brought it up with Sam Flannel. Flannel Sam hit on it. And he going on national TV. We just got to get healthy, bro. Like, you guys, like,
you gotta get better. You didn't make the playoffs, man. The 49ers made it with half of their team out. I think it's an excuse. Listen, and it sucks too because I say it a million times. Like, I'm the slappy. I'm the guy who loves the team, and I don't ever want to say anything bad about Amon-Ra. These guys, I love them all, man. But when you give a reason to, it's tough, man. It's
I don't know. I didn't like it. I didn't like it either. But I did see Chris Long comment on it. Professional athlete, so that means what he said.
Yes, again though, like Chris Long loves the hire. I don't it comes back to the fact that I think what Amon-Ra says has nothing to do with whether it's a good hire or not. Because I think it's going to end up being fine. Like, I think it's a good, like we thought. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good hire.
Like Chris Long is like anybody who thinks it isn't is an idiot.
My point of the Amon-Ra comments is like, just let people have their opinions and don't tell fans they don't know ball when they have an opinion. Like, it's as simple as that. You could pump the fans up, be excited, boys. Come on now.
Let's take a listen to what Chris Long had to say. Let's hear this.
I think this actually makes more sense than people think. He doesn't have a splash face. I think people like and name, like, it's not a splash hire, like, but I think it's going to work. I do, if they can get the personnel right, because if you know anything about Arizona the last couple of years, in 23 and 24, and you could chalk a lot of it up to James Conner, but they were elite running the football. Mm-hmm. And this year, you lose your whole running back room. You have 10 plus O-line combinations. I just think most people were like, this guy, didn't they suck this year? I think there are tight end usage proclivities. Yes. And then I found this nugget too. The goal to go stuff for Detroit this year was terrible. I think they were 27th in successful play percentage in the low red, that being 10 and in. Cardinals through 23 through 25, they were top 10 in those spots. So, like, I think that's a big thing. Like, Detroit just had trouble in some areas that they were really good in, namely, like, zone runs this year. They suck. Now, I know that Petzing's like a gap scheme guy and you're going to run more counter, but I also think they want to kind of get back to what they do well. And then this, the most diabolical one, Kev, that I saw was Petzing was in Ben Johnson's wedding. So that's a fucking psychological power move, dude. Yeah, they were GAs together at Boston College in 2010.
Boston College.
Yeah, and then Ben became the tight end coach in 2011, and Petzing was a GA still there. So they had 2 years. But this is the most interesting thing. Ben Johnson he's getting a squeeze put on him. They fucking hate him in Green Bay. LaFleur hates him. LA, the Rams, I don't think McVay likes him because of what he did to LaFleur. And then Dan Campbell hiring his groomsmen, that's a mind fuck. You basically delete that friend. And the guy knows you well.
I like the ending of that. The absolute mind F on Ben Johnson hiring in his groomsmen.
That is actually it's hilarious.
Yeah, I see a lot
it's
of
worked out that way.
A lot of what he hit on is true. The fit wise, I don't think anybody can argue how well Drew Petzing fits with the Lions. Okay, that's the only thing I want to make sure I get very clear. He is true. He doesn't have a splash face, though. He does because I think it's maybe the 5'7" and he's bald, but it has nothing to do with his ability to call football games. But it's just maybe people see 5'7". He's a smaller individual. You know, he's a bald individual. No offense to bald guys. Respect to all the bald guys, but maybe see him as he's a small man. But it's not about his fit. I think it's more about his ability. Like in a game to call plays. I think him and Dan share a lot of the same ideology. And me and you talk about it. Like, I think it makes a lot of sense why they like him. Like, I'm not arguing that. And I think there are things that you like about him. But I talked to another Cardinals writer yesterday, and I've been trying to dive into as much information as possible on both sides, Lions fans and Arizona fans. And, the thing I keep hearing, dude, is his situational play calling. I was walked through a situation yesterday that Drew Petzing had in Arizona, because this is what people aren't going to talk about, because they're just watching they're talking about the fit and the schematic fit. Kyler Bird joined our show, covers the Cardinals for SI, and he said they were playing the Titans. Okay, it's the Titans' only win this year, or one of the only wins they had. They beat the Cardinals. You had a chance to win the game. First down, run for 2 yards. Second down, run for 3 yards. And then third down, they run for 4 yards and punt. And that was with that was when the offense, they were moving the ball around. Arizona fans, they lost that game, and people ripped Drew Petzing a new one. So I need to see, because we've seen that in the past with this offense too. Situationally, they've struggled. I just hope that Drew is better than what I'm hearing situationally. That's all. Not the fit. I have no problem with the fit. I just want to see him in situations where you'll be like, okay, Drew Petzing has this thing figured out. That's right.
I will be the devil's advocate, and I was a couple days ago when we had this conversation. I think I'm going to stick with this point all off season, and I think with Drew Petzing, and I think everything that Chris Long said, spot on. I think parts of what Amon-Ra said in regards to Drew Petzing and the person, I think everything in some of these parts are really good, but I think Chris Long's is put perfectly, where I think now the fact that you really see Drew Petzing in an offense with weapons that he's never had before as an OC, and I also think at top of that, you add in, and Jeff, this is something that I think all the people need to consider a little bit if you want to look for positives with Drew Petzing. Who knows what he had? Again, he had a defensive-minded head coach in Arizona. So, like, he was the offensive mastermind in Arizona. So when you talk about the plays,
a lot on the offense.
No, and when you talk about like play calling and that, here in Detroit, you obviously have Dan Campbell, who essentially, and again, whether you agree with me or disagree, when Ben Johnson first started taking over play calling, Dan said this a couple months ago when they asked him, hey, have you called plays for this Lions team? How experienced are you, Dan? Dan was like, hey, when Ben actually started play calling, when it was shown that he was, I was actually calling most of those plays. And I was, having Ben, hey, this is what I want. This is, and he essentially worked Ben slowly into play calling, which I'm not saying he's going to do with Drew Petzing, but Dan is very, very aware situationally what to call. And I thought, honestly, Jeff, like, again, if the Lions had any sort of offensive line, I think Dan's play calling would have been even better, right? I think he did a good job doing it. So I think Dan is very aware. But you also have guys, remember when John Morton said that he had guys helping him and giving input throughout the game? Hank Fraley, run game, Scotty Montgomery, like those two guys alone have interviewed for OC jobs. They're very aware of situationally, and I'm sure they're going to make sure, hey, like they're going to have some sort of say in making sure that Drew Petzing isn't running the ball 3 straight times, going 3 and out in a critical moment of a game, right? Like, and I think Dan especially can give you that confidence. And I think one, having the talent that he has in that room, but 2, also having now legit offensive voices and an offensive-minded head coach is going to change maybe Drew Petzing's approach. And one of the best things, Jeff, I live by this in my life, personal life, whatever we do, you learn from your mistakes, man. And you would hope Drew Petzing looks back at what happened in Arizona and is like, okay, like this is where some things went wrong. And now that I'm in an offensive-minded head coach in a building like this with these weapons, I could take that and move forward. And I know now what I need to be better at. So I'm gonna keep pushing positivity towards Drew Petzing, man. I'm gonna live on that side of the fence this year. Come on.
I really hope. I know there is the human element of me that I really root for him because of all the shit he's taken. I do. I really from like
he has taken a lot. And a lot of it's not even with the Lions fans. A lot of it's not even his fault. It's just the fact that John Morton came in, they took his play calling ability away, and then Dan got someone that no one knew. So like he wasn't great in Arizona, but I think a lot of the hate that he got wasn't. Again, I'm not going to tell fans what to say. Go ahead, hey, your opinions. But
yeah, say whatever the hell you want to say. He did take. He's gotten a lot of shit. I mean, the memes that have been all over the internet. I feel bad for the guy.
Some of the ones that we've seen is.
Oh, they've shredded him.
I do lean towards the fact that Drew Petzing is going to work out in Detroit.
I think the only way he doesn't is if you run into these situations, he like situationally they're not as good, or they make dumb decisions on certain points of a football game. Like I think they're going to be able to move the ball. You know what I mean? Like I don't think the offense, but they're not going to fall off a cliff. I think where you're going to judge him on is like situational play calling. Maybe how much creativity does he add to the offense? That's what they've been missing. Like stuff like that. Yeah. You're going to just look at like can you see the run game? The things that he was, brought here to help out with the run game.
Yeah. I think the number one thing, and today, I don't know if we're going to have time to play it anyways, but the thing that I've been kind of leaning on this offseason, and Jeff, what has been the number one thing that I said this offseason that matters?
Well, the defense.
Number
The
one,
offensive line.
offensive line. Like everything comes down to that. It has nothing to do with Drew Petzing. It has nothing to do with anything else. It comes down to, can Brad Holmes build a new offensive line? And can he give Drew Petzing? Because like the run game, yeah, it wasn't great last year. Was it fully because you weren't running the ball or it was bad schematic? Like, no, it wasn't. It was really because your O-line struggled this year and you had kind of a bottom half O-line, which kind of, in my opinion, and again, I'll say it, like it falls on Brad Holmes in that sense. So if they can figure out an O-line this offseason, I think that's the number one priority this offseason is offensive line. And if you can do that, like you set Drew Petzing up to be successful. And I think even if they don't do it, he's going to be semi-successful. Again, like I think it's Phenom or someone in the chat's like, Booner, you like mediocrity. Like, no, I don't. But then again, Jeff, like this offense wasn't mediocre. They were top 5 in the NFL. Again, it's
mediocre against good defenses.
Yeah, and it's a top 5 offense with a bad O-line. You get a good O-line, you're one of the best offenses against everyone. And on top of that, like it's offensive line number 1 and number 2. It's like, dude, you need a defense. Like at what point? Again, I'm going to say this every day until the season starts or until Brad starts addressing it. The issue is not offense for this football team. The issue for the Detroit Lions is they have not had a legit defense since Brad and Dan had stepped through that door. They've had spurts of great defenses, 2 or 3 game stretches, but they haven't had like a Seattle Seahawks defense, a Houston Texans defense, a Patriots defense. Like these teams that are playing in the Final Four, a Rams defense, that front 7 they have. Like they have not had that. So like people, I think like even fan bases, like our fan base, like you're putting too much on this offense a little bit. Like we got to start calling out this defense. You got to make some moves. And if I'm Amon-Ra, man, instead of calling out the fans, I'd been like, hey, I'd go on the podcast and say, hey, man, can we get a defense in here?
Well, I think the worst case scenario is if Calvin Shepard and Drew Petzing have question marks at the end of the year. Then you're like, okay, now we're in a situation where we might have to start over again. And that's a tough
I think it's the Calvin Shepard one. If you stick with him and you just have an average defense next year.
Yep. Then you're in a situation where it's like, okay, either way, you're going to have to get a new coordinator. Okay. It just depends on basically which side of the ball it is. More so it should be on defense. I agree with you. More pressure's on Calvin Shepard. I mean, for being real, no one wants, people are talking about it, but I think people are going to be more pissed off if the defense doesn't work out because Dan chose to keep him. You know what I mean? So that's a whole nother thing.
Man, I've been out sick for a few days. I just felt like I just rambled forever.
No, we love it. Nagy says MCDC needs to stick to leadership or motivational coaching, not play calling, but not like the players need much more motivation other than just to win. They got to get that grit back. They got to get that grit back. Okay.
Dude, I said that during the season. Remember when they were in the NFC Championship game and after?
Said it after too.
The one thing I used to love about this Lions team is like even like everyone on this team just wanted like, as bad as it sounds, like kill someone on the other side of the ball. Like wanted to take heads off, dominate. And I think you still see it from some of the guys on offense, but like on the defense, the only person that gives me that feeling is Jack Campbell and Brian Branch when he wasn't injured. That's it. Like people were mad about Brian Branch's penalties. Dude, at least like I said it, at least someone on that team or on that defense was like trying to take someone's head off and was playing angry because no one else was. No one else was, man.
Mm-hmm.
There was no grit, no like I want to hurt someone. And that's what they are all built off of. It felt like this defense.
Yeah, I saw the this article that you sent me that has the NFL executive predictions.
Oh yeah, we can go through the whole thing, but I know there's a Lions one on there. I didn't see all the other ones. I just.
So this is predictions for the offseason. They have the first one on here is Ravens trade Lamar Jackson to the Raiders.
That just won't happen. Okay, that's just a bad one. Who did this article, by the way? Do we know?
Jeremy Fowler.
Oh, we like Jeremy Fowler too. That's our guy, man.
Yeah.
We say at the combine, got to be like, dude.
He said he was talking about last year's. He said DK getting traded, Sam Darnold not going to the Raiders. He said he went to the Raiders, but Geno Smith did. So he said they're coming back. Ravens trade Lamar Jackson to the Raiders. I don't think that's going to happen.
No, I think they like.
What about this one? Eagles trade AJ Brown to the Bills.
That would be a big one. Bills need to make a big move, man, at that position. I would not be shocked. I actually don't hate that one.
Yeah, we never really talked about too. Like, what's going on with the Eagles? Like, no one wants the job. Do you see that?
Yeah, it's a weird dude. I think I saw Diana Rossini actually reported that it's an unattractive job, which I outside Jeff, if you want to be honest, outside of that Kellen Moore year, like there's always been some sort of issue.
It's a headache, man. Like, look, think of it like this. Okay, you have to deal with the locker room on offense, which seems to be just a high school like setup. I mean, it's like you got different sections of people mad at each other on the offense. You have Nick Sirianni, who just I don't know how he is to work with. I don't know. I don't know too much about it, but clearly it's not like I would assume that Dan Campbell probably more so a guy coaches want to come coach for or coach under. Jalen Hurts isn't a quarterback people love coaching. And then on top of that, you have Kevin Patullo as the OC, and when he has a bad game, they go to his house and they egg his house. Like,
it's a weird situation. Even Patullo, Kevin Patullo, or whatever you pronounce his name, he came out at the end of the year and was like, I've taken a lot of blame for this. He was like, really, like, and obviously he's going to try and stick up for his job, but he was just straight up. It was like, not a lot of it was really on me. He was like, there's not much I could have done, to be honest. It's such a bad situation in Philly, dude. It's one of those things where it's like if you don't give the ball to this guy, he's gonna be mad. If you give it to this guy, he's gonna be mad. Like no matter what you do, someone's gonna be mad. That's how I look at the Philly job. So if you take it, it's like, all right, who do you want to who do you not care is mad at you? That's how you have to approach that job. I've said this for years about AJ Brown. 2 years ago on this show, I went on the AJ Brown rant. And I honestly, I think I got killed for it, talking about Amon-Ra and AJ Brown, and it's came around so well because this guy, like, he won a Super Bowl, but like, no one wants to play in Philly, and there's just these guys. It's such a weird situation.
Yep, and they have to. If they trade AJ Brown, by the way, they would have a massive hit at their cap. Like it wouldn't.
Yeah,
it's not
dead
about
cap.
They would have a massive dead cap number. So
remember the stuff during the trade deadline too.
Yep.
The AJ Brown stuff was out, and Diana Rossini, she's the one that's been like on it, and people are like kind of clowning her about it, like, oh, you don't know, but it's been real. Like she was like, this team's gonna fall apart, and they lose in the first round.
Yeah, the drama, dude. They have it's actual issues, and AJ Brown, and then you know what happens? He complains all season about not getting targets. And then he gets targeted like a bunch of times in the playoff game. He drops a bunch of passes, and he doesn't meet with the media.
Yeah,
like I don't want
like even down the stretch when they started giving him the rock more, they looked worse.
Yeah,
it was like, all right, we gave you the ball, now you just look worse. Like we look worse now. It's like this is why we were doing what we were doing offensively.
It's so bad.
And then Jalen Hurts was saying stuff about Kevin Patullo. Like, why haven't you been running it that much this year? And he's like, it's the offense.
Yeah, like what kind of quarterback? You know what I'm saying? He throws you right under the bus. Like I'm good. I'm straight.
Talk about that in meetings, man.
And then you have Falcons roll with Kirk Cousins at quarterback. Kevin Stefanski was Kirk Cousins' OC in Minnesota. Fun fact. So I think this is 1,000% true.
I always had the take too. I didn't think that Kirk Cousins was done. Like I thought the reason he played bad a year ago was because he was injured, and they obviously benched him. And I didn't think he was that bad when he got an opportunity here at the end of the season. They started winning games.
Well, Michael Penix is hurt, but on top of that, I think Kirk would just be a better fit with Kevin Stefanski based on their prior relationship.
Yeah.
I don't know if Penix has showed that he's like undoubtedly the franchise guy. I don't know if they'll draft another guy or what, but and I feel bad for Penix. He's had so many injuries, like so many, bro. He's had a lot, and he just tore his ACL again. Like I feel bad for him, but yeah, I believe this. So they'll definitely roll with Kirk.
Well, I mean, dude, what was crazy to me with the Michael Penix thing is Michael Penix, like his rookie year when he took over for Kirk, like they went 1-2. Like it wasn't that like it was like, oh, this guy's the franchise guy. And like it felt like all offseason, everyone was like, he's the next, like they're going to be so good with Michael Penix.
It's because the rest of the draft class were all playing well. The whole
and it was like I didn't really like I wasn't sold on it.
Jay Daniels, Caleb, they're all like blossoming, and then Penix is kind of he's like the last guy.
And they won a couple games this last year with him, but like the last couple games with him, I mean, you could see here they lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games. They were 3-6 with him as the starting quarterback. And then when Kirk takes over, they ended the season 8-9. So whatever we do that math there.
Yeah.
5-3 with Kirk. I don't know. That was quick math. I could be wrong.
The next thing they have on here, Malik Willis to the Dolphins or Browns. Oh, here we go with the Malik Willis stuff. There's people in Green Bay that really believe this guy is the franchise.
I saw a thing today that ranked NFC North quarterbacks and had Malik Willis over Jared Goff. I was so shocked, dude.
Dude, God, come on, bro. Like
I thought I was going crazy.
I don't think he's bad at all. I think he's a really solid backup who could be like a starter, like a Tyler Huntley, where he comes in. Like Tyler Huntley was winning games for the Ravens. Like dude, that guy's a really good backup, for them. And I think Malik Willis is honestly better. Like I think he's a really good backup to fringe starter, maybe starter for a team looking to be relevant. Like I don't look at Malik as like that guy's a franchise quarterback. Like I don't know why. I don't know how people. I don't get it. He had a great game against the Ravens. We know what that defense is like, man. Like, I don't know. The people that are saying like Jordan Love is clearly better than Malik Willis. It's not even like, come on. That's ridiculous that we even have to make that clear again. And we hate the Packers, but that's a fact. So if he gets paid, I would be very curious to who pays him. Maybe the Dolphins pay him. Maybe the Browns pay him. But that would be on par with those franchises. I'll say that. Okay, that would be a perfect pairing. Going to the Browns or the Dolphins. Cool. Awesome. Would it be better than Tua? Sure. Vikings should get him. ETN says sure. I mean,
I would. You know what? I would love to see Malik Willis get an opportunity, man.
Yeah, I'll take that. I mean, just because I want the guy. I mean, you're rooting for him to get an opportunity, but people sometimes in sports to make sports great. We were talking about fans earlier. People become prisoner of the moment. I think Malik Willis is definitely a prisoner of the moment type of thing.
Maybe he's
same thing with Geno Smith. Remember Geno Smith in Seattle?
Are we sure he's not better than Jordan Love?
According to some Packers fans, he is. And also, like the Geno Smith thing in Seattle. Remember when people in Seattle were like, he's better than Jared Goff?
Yeah, and now look.
Like, and I know he's with the Raiders, but come on, bro. Like, you're still not taking that man over 20 quarterbacks. Like, it's a lot of prisoner of the moment stuff, and that's okay. It's what makes sports great, but, it is what it is. The next one here, Colts win AFC South for the first time this upcoming year.
I want to be shocked, actually. They need a quarterback. If they I don't know how Daniel Jones is going to look. Dude, I've said this about the Colts. I know Klotz was on it 2 years ago. I was on it this year. I think the Colts have a legit roster. It's just about if they have a quarterback that can, kind of work with that roster. You saw it. I mean, you have Daniel Jones, who's probably just a good quarterback, not a great.
He can win games, though. He showed.
Yeah, maybe they add Malik Willis. They will. But I'm kidding. That was a joke. No, but if they do get a quarterback, they'd be.
They got pieces, man.
Do you know what really killed them as a franchise?
What?
I know this is like people like the Anthony Richardson thing really hurt them.
Oh, it set them back, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. Because they had such a good roster and they do now. And if they drafted, I don't remember the quarterbacks in that class. I don't know if you do, but even what year was that real quick? 2022 or 23?
So I'll tell you right now. So
I think that was 23.
So the 2020.
Yes.
Okay. You have it in front of you?
I do. Yeah. Take away quarterback. Who cares about drafting quarterback? Because the next quarterback taken was Will Levis in the second round. But like, if they could have just gone anyone else, you know what I mean? Like you add Jalen Carter to that team. I mean, you could just keep going. I mean, Devon Witherspoon, the offensive lineman went. There's just such a handful of guys. Jack Campbell, they could have got a linebacker. Like JSN went. They could have just went any other position and just went a different route.
They should have traded. What they should have done is traded out of that spot at 4 because none of these guys
for
are
sure
at 4 and gotten another guy. I know it's hindsight, but at the time you kind of knew that. You're like, okay, Bryce, CJ Stroud, Will Anderson. Then you were looking around like, okay, Devon Witherspoon. Like at the time we were talking about.
It was a stretch of a pick of a pick.
Carter.
Everyone knew it.
That draft class in the first round was kind of like, okay, there's a lot of maybes, and they took a big maybe. And the only reason why Chris Ballard's keeping his job is because they got Daniel Jones.
Yeah,
that's the only reason why. And Chris Ballard's not a bad GM, but that's a fireable offense. Like you miss.
Imagine this. Imagine this team with JSN. If they traded back, drafted JSN again, hindsight, but they're like, you knew that quarterback drafting Anthony Richardson was a stretch. Like you knew it. You knew what it was. And you could have just added to the roster that was already built. Like they at the time they had a good defense still. They had Jonathan Taylor. They had some of the pieces, man. You just keep adding to it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's like the that's like that for every team. It's like Joe Douglas with the Jets. They drafted Zach Wilson, and Joe Douglas, for people that don't remember, Joe Douglas he drafted Sauce Gardner, but he drafted some really good players. But they messed up on Zach Wilson. He's out of there. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens. You mess up on a quarterback, bro. You're on the clock right away.
By the way, I just want to say the Pistons are only down 5 right now. Like they were down double digits. This is them in Houston is some of the chippiest basketball of all. Every second there's just another like scuffle going on. And you know who's like also in the middle of it, just being like Isaiah Stewart. Always. Sometimes he doesn't even fight. He just looks at the other team and he'll just go, "Get back to your bench now. Go over there." And they listen too. Like Jabari Smith, just like he was looking at him, was like, you better get over there right now. And Jabari Smith listened. I was like, all right, dude.
Yeah, you don't want to piss him off.
But it's good. It's like the Pistons and the Rockets might be the 2 chippiest teams in the league. It's fun to watch.
We'll go through the rest of these. Kyle
There's a Lions one, right?
I didn't see it on here because I see. Okay, so you have Falcons franchise tag Kyle Pitts, rightfully so. George Pickens situation in Dallas gets sticky. We'll see. They have to franchise him. But I don't know if they'll be able to extend them. So that's something that people pay attention to. You got the Jets trying to get a quarterback, Geno Smith, Tua, Kyler Murray. Oh my goodness, that's awesome.
Did you see the thing with the Jets too? They're DC.
No coaches want to go.
No one wants to play or coach on the Jets.
Rightfully so. Honestly, if I'm a young assistant, I'm taking the job because Aaron Glenn could be fired. Like.
Yeah, I don't know if though I don't know how often
you might have an immediate in after that. You might, but guys that have resumes ain't taking that job. No one cares about that job, dude. It's like the Browns, no one wants to go coach.
By the way, did you know? Because I just thought about this with the DC situation. Did you know Drew Petzing is a defensive guy? Yeah,
defensive back.
Yeah, started coaching defense and then moved when he was in the NFL to offense. I don't know if you knew that. I just threw that out there.
Yeah, 5'7" DB, slot guy, gritty guy. I don't know, safety guy.
Kind of mess with it, dude. He's like a nickel, like a little come on now.
And then he has it's down lower, the Taylor Decker thing.
I don't know. Maybe. Shout out Detroit Times. Detroit Times tweeted it out about it, and then he put this link to it. So I thought it was in here. It's definitely not. By the way,
did you see?
I guess you just went through that. The Taylor Decker thing was
Did you see Phillip Rivers' interview for the Bills job?
Dude, this guy's getting every opportunity in the world. He might run for president here in the next election.
Yeah, I don't know where it is, but yeah, I mean it's Phillip Rivers interviewed for the Bills job, so that's awesome. He's coaching high school football.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, I don't know how. I don't know where that connection is. I don't know who Brandon Bean knows. It's actually on. Oh wait, what? ETN says Ian Rappaport said it's actually on the board. He becomes the next Bills coach.
I mean, yeah, if he's interviewing for it, they're obviously. I think that they're going to take it seriously. I don't think they would just bring him in to bring him in. I think they're actually trying to. And I actually brought this up to you a month ago when he got the quarterback job. Remember, it popped up. A rumor popped up that there was a chance that he has a legit chance to be a head coach in the NFL in the next year or two. Someone, I can't remember who put that out, but we talked about it a month or so ago.
Yeah, I mean, I like
he's interviewing.
I mean, hey, he's a quarterback, knows offense. You know, I'm not.
I think he would be a good head coach. I do.
Yeah, I don't think.
Actually, I remember when you brought it up. You brought up the point. You were like, I don't think players can go straight to head coach. You do have to get a little coaching experience. And then you brought up kind of the Dan-O thing.
Yeah, I think there's certain exceptions. Like Phillip Rivers was a really good quarterback. He probably could bypass that. It's like Phillip Rivers is like, he's got that. Like, it's Phillip Rivers.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like that guy.
And he has a connection to the players. He's smart. He knows the game. Like he could easily manage a game, I'm sure, as a quarterback.
Yeah.
Would be respected.
Like Dan-O, all due respect, like he doesn't have that same like cachet as
future Hall of Famer. And what's crazy is he would have been in the Hall of Fame like next year if he didn't come out of retirement.
Yep, that's true. Well, we have more to get to. We have Pick'em today, by the way, which is, I mean, this is the much anticipated Pick'em. I'm just gonna be very honest.
We're down to the second to last week, which is so sick, dude.
It's time. It's time to talk to the man himself. It's time to talk to the man himself, Caleb Czarnik. Caleb, how are you doing?
Good evening, gentlemen. It's great to be here. I'm excited. We got a good Pistons game going on right now. We got some games to pick. Booner, I'm glad. I was worried about you, my man. I'm glad that you're back.
Thank you.
Healthy. But it's good to see you guys.
Thank you, Caleb. I actually appreciate it. You hit me up, or make sure I was good. And I'm glad you've changed. Okay, it's good. You're back on my good side. You were on my bad side for a while. Honestly, I'm glad that we have three of us out of the 5 Crunch Time guys here. I've been upset at the Crunch Time guys last week. Caleb's at the top of that list too.
Okay.
So I don't know if you want to if you want me to air it out or not, but
sure. I mean, I would like to know.
I text Klotz too, because Klotz did the same thing. I texted him separate and said, "Don't ever do this to me again." I don't like the fact when I text in the Crunch Time group chat like 10 times and you don't respond, and then you respond in a group chat with all of our friends.
Mm-hmm.
And you do that. You do it the most.
Oh, no, I don't. I think in that.
Well, I think everyone ignores my texts, which I don't like.
By far the least.
I would say this. I was one more text away from leaving the Crunch Time group chat on Sunday night. And that's not, or maybe Saturday night. I was one text away. I was like, if I have to send one more text in here and no one responds to it, I will leave this chat forever. And the only time the Crunch Time guys will hear from me is live on air.
Okay, that's fair.
And you were the one that put it over the edge, because I text something to you in our Crunch Time chat and you didn't respond. And then all of a sudden I get an alert. Oh, Caleb text message. Oh, cool. You respond. Oh no, it's in our group chat with all of our friends. And my heart dropped. And then Klotz did it. And I had to call Klotz on the phone.
No, Klotz, he does it a lot. He does it a lot.
Yeah, and I called him and I let him know. And he said he apologized. And there's a chance I'm out of the Crunch Time group chat for good at some point.
Okay.
No.
I swear, no. I've created a group chat with just me and Gentry and Klotz before, because you two were doing it to me.
Okay, I just want to let them know. I think the text I didn't answer was everybody has to give a pick for this. It was like for a same game parlay for a game. So basically, Booner wants me to be addicted to gambling. So okay.
And by the way, everyone's saying Booner, you're soft. No, it's not. Listen, I enjoy talking to my friends. Like I enjoy it. I really enjoy it. I will send a tweet or something in there, and I just get nothing back. Like, I'm so excited. I see the coolest tweet. I'm like, boys will love this. Send it, nothing. And then all of a sudden there's text in the other group chat, and I'm like, my tweet sucked. Okay. And then I send another tweet a couple days later, nothing. And I'm just like, oh, this
I'll
sucks.
be honest. I'm not the biggest texter. I'm sure you guys have realized this by now. Most of the time when I have something relatively important to say, I'll call either one of you. That's what I do. So, but I do apologize. I will
Jeff does it a lot too. Jeff's Jeff's on his phone more than anyone. And I won't hear from Jeff for like 8 hours. I'm like, I sent this guy like 10 things, and this guy just either he's watching Joe Rogan or he's sitting there just like looking at my text, flipping his phone.
No, to be fair, you know what I think about often when I open up my text? I'm like, did I respond in a group chat?
Nope, you never respond to me.
That's literally what I think about every day. I'm like, because I have it so self-aware at this point, Boone, to where if something's if I get a text from like our main group chat, I'm like, I have to see first if there's another text I didn't respond to. I do think about that every time I open my phone.
If you guys saw my text messaging app, you'd be disgusted. You'd be sick.
Well, I have
hundreds of
Are you the guy that has a bunch of unread text messages?
Oh my God, it's insane. Well, look, Jeff, I'm a
Caleb,
popular guy. I can't talk to everybody at one time.
I used to, Caleb. I used to have like thousands. And then I grew up and realized just open your text. Like it's not that even that's all. I just learned last weekend, and it was, sometimes you just find something new out about yourself, as you get older. You guys know that. I found out last Saturday, one of my biggest pet peeves is when my friends don't text me back. Like I could throw my phone through a window. And I almost left our group chat. Like I legit was like fuming by myself at my house.
Do you think that's something you could work on? Maybe not get as mad.
Maybe or it's how do I work on it? I just don't text my friends, so then I'm just antisocial.
No,
maybe I ask my friends and say, "Hey, can you guys respond?"
Out of all the things in the world, that's what bursts your bubble the most.
I just learned it. I didn't know it was an issue I had.
And then all the things that
was
grind your gears.
Uncontrollable anger last weekend when I was like, I had my finger on the button to leave the group chat. Like I was like, I went back and read over the last 7 days. I went back and read how many texts no one responded to me. It was plus double digits. It was like 15. And I'm like,
that's not fair because you send like 9 at a time. So you can't.
No. It wasn't. I didn't count those ones. I just counted the ones where if I sent like, "Hey boys, this," and then no one says anything, and I'm like, okay. Or like I send a tweet like, "Hey, what are you guys saying?" No one says anything. It was like double digits in a week. That's like one a day. That's tough. That's such a tough feeling for one of the boys.
I think I remember that day. But I'm reading them all. But like a week,
but
a lot of the time, I'm on my phone as much as I can. Like obviously for what we do, but like by the time like I get to my phone, your texts are like 2 hours late for me, or like an hour late.
Any response would be
conversation's already over.
And one thing Caleb does is I'll send a text of like a question or something, and then Caleb will come in and say something, ignore what I said, and put his own thing. And
not a great texter.
And I'm like, oh, dude, like, did you not see what I said? Like, I'm asking you boys a question, and he just puts a random different thing. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, no, screw me.
Not a great texter.
The old.
I'm going to go find an example. I would love to find an example.
It's the old. I'm not a great texter.
It's a good excuse when you just don't want to talk to your friends.
Okay.
Hey, but if your mom texts you, what do you do?
I love my mom. I answer.
You answer right away.
That's my mom. Come on.
Yeah, no, fair. No,
I sent a betting slip. I sent a betting slip a couple days ago at 6:00 p.m. Like, boys, what do you think? Blah blah blah. 5 hours later, Caleb ignores my betting slip and sends a Fetty Wap TikTok.
Okay, he's back, dude. He's out of prison. That's so sick.
I'm just like, okay,
that's like, sick. Come on, dude. It was awesome.
I mean, Fetty Wap.
Shout out Fetty Wap, dude. He's back.
I sent the group chat one of our this viral tweet with Jared Goff did like 3 million views, quote tweeting our tweet. I said, boys, check this out. Like they quote tweeted us like this is going viral. 12 hours later, I'm not going to make it to the watch party, boys. Caleb, no response to my tweet.
I remember this one as well.
Like I set my highlight tapes from high school, like just me hitting a step back three. 4 hours later, why is Hutch in an effing Army commercial? Caleb,
no, stop.
Ignoring my jump shot.
What are you doing? Why is he airing out the group chat right now?
Ignoring my shot.
You sent your highlight reel.
No one said anything. How bad is that? You send a highlight reel of yourself to the boys and no one acknowledges it.
Dude, you were like fucking 15 years old. What do you want me to say?
I was like, oh, boys, check
This
this
is
out.
really sick, Booner. Wow, this is really dope,
Now,
dude.
Jeff, now do you see why I'm like, I'm going to leave this group chat? Like, what, dude? I sent it in the main group chat, and Spenny right away was like, let's go, Boone. You boys don't even give me like a, yeah, nice, Boone.
I really, honestly, like
Everyone ignored it. Every single one of the boys.
This is just straight up like take accountability.
That was just 2 days. I just give you guys 2 days. That was 4 texts in 2 days. It's nothing from me. I'm trying to be a good friend. I'm trying to socialize with my friends and be nice. I'm gonna turn into a mean guy, man. This is how villains are made, dude.
Caleb said, "Bro, you were 15."
That's disrespectful because I was actually 17.
Okay.
No, that's a.
You show us your huddle highlights from like 8th grade football.
Yeah,
and I respond to them.
I played 4 different positions. That's pretty awesome.
And you sent us that, and what do we do? When you send us
Shohei Ohtani of football.
When you send us those clips, what do we do? I respond and go, dude, you're like Luke Kuechly, man.
Those are like generational. Well, I'm not saying yours weren't.
No, we should hype up each other as friends. That's no doubt. We should.
No, it's cool. I just will never. I'm like scarred. I'll never send anything fun again in the group chat. Like
that's a lie. You're gonna.
That was 2 days too. I said there was 4 different texts getting ignored in like 12-hour spans in 2 days.
Peaceful Craig says stolen valor Hutch commercials airing during playoff games while we sit at home.
That's kind of what I was getting at. That's kind of what I was setting in.
Yeah, I don't think Caleb meant in a bad way. I apologize if you didn't want that out there, Caleb, but
it's okay.
Hutch doing in an Army commercial. Oh, hey, Caleb, Drew Petzing, eh? How do you feel?
Interesting, to say the least. I think we could all be honest here. Right when the hire happened, none of us really knew anything about this dude. He wasn't on anybody's radar. He wasn't in any talks to become a coordinator. And off first glance, what we saw was he was the Arizona Cardinals offensive coordinator for 3 years in a very mediocre offense, where you didn't see any improvement from guys like Marvin Harrison Jr., any improvement for guys like Kyler Murray. So it was pretty underwhelming.
He did help my fantasy team, though, Jacoby Brissett.
Michael Wilson, Jacoby Brissett, Trey McBride, of course. But look, to me, even after some research, you see like he's been pretty good in the run game. Yes, he developed Trey McBride. He's you guys have brought it up, which I thought was a really good point, that he's coached a lot of positions, so he's familiar with quarterbacks and receivers, tight ends, all this stuff. To me, guys, it feels like a smartest guy in the room move. I feel like there was better names still available, one of them being Mike McDaniel, where a report comes out that Dan Campbell didn't feel like he'd be a great fit there, which doesn't make much sense to me. He was definitely the best offensive mind left available. But Booner, I believe you said it earlier this week, right when the hire happened. This might just be a wait and see thing, where we can't make we could say we don't like the hire, but we have to see what he does with this personnel, what kind of packages he puts in, what kind of offense he wants to run with this personnel. But just overall, to me, it feels like we know more than you, so we're going to hire this guy that nobody's been talking about.
Yeah,
spot on. I think too. Just to that point, real quick, Jeff, you always said with Johnny Moe, where you're like, there's a reason Johnny Moe hasn't had an OC job in so long. Like I think with Drew Petzing, I think there's a reason why he had an OC job and why he's getting another one. Is he does have a very good offensive mind, and he actually does have what it takes. He just needs the right room to do it. That's how that's my optimistic.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I think it goes both ways with it.
I think if you bring up Johnny Moe's long resume and that the big spaces between OC jobs, I think it's fair to compare it to Drew Petzing, and it's quite the opposite. Drew Petzing's young, he's had an OC job. No matter what Cardinals fans think about how it went, he still had an OC job and he's getting another one. So, clearly they like him. Again, I'm not in love with it, but I think he's a good fit, I guess, like for what they want to do identity-wise. I just don't know how good of a play caller he is. Mm-hmm. That's what I need to find out. I think he's a good fit. I just want to see his play calling abilities. I think the biggest thing Cardinals fans bring up is just like I was talking about earlier, is like a situational play calling. I just want to see that more so than anything. Like I asked, I want to see if he has some creativity in him, because the Cardinals didn't really have personnel to be super creative. But I asked the Cardinals writer we had on yesterday, and he laughed in my face when I asked, "Is Drew Petzing creative?" And he went, "No."
Yeah, well, shout out. I mean, we know a guy. I don't know if we want to say it, but we know a guy that works for Phoenix Sports, and those initial texts we got right when Petzing was hired was like, oh my gosh, like, oh, we're screwed. But I think another thing too is you could have any name there as the OC, but guys like, I mean, Brad has to put them in the best situation, and that starts with getting an O-line. If we want to see the most out of what Drew Petzing can do, you need to bolster that O-line in the offseason, whether that's in the draft and free agency. So, I mean, this is not necessarily a totally revamped offense, but there's going to have to be a lot of changes, and one of them was Drew Petzing. So, I mean, like you said, Booner, it might just be a wait and see thing. And you know, Dan can't swing and miss on another OC hire. That's not in house. So I mean, he must have really liked him because I mean, this was early. This is in the middle of the NFL playoffs where more OCs could have become available. And Dan Campbell said, "I'm not wasting any time. I like this guy. Bring him in." And yeah, we'll see.
What'd you think of the Jaylen Ivey report to be shipped out of here?
Look, Jaylen Ivey is a guy that I've tried to be patient with, especially after the leg injury last year. Obviously, he lost a lot of explosiveness, but just everything about his game right now does not look great. He's shooting it all right, but the explosiveness isn't there. He's not able to really create for himself off the dribble, and that's what the Detroit Pistons need right now. So I wasn't that surprised to see the report. If there's a big trade that comes out for a guy like, you know, if New Orleans wants Jaylen Ivey for a Trey Murphy and Herb Jones, or we see that maybe the Nets want Jaylen Ivey for Michael Porter Jr., I say you do it. It sucks because, you know, I think a lot of us were excited to see what Jaylen Ivey and Cade Cunningham could do as a duo, but right now it's just not fitting Ivey with the Pistons. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him at the trade deadline, but I think it's gonna take a lot.
The thing with Ivey, I don't know if I'm the only one that gets this. It feels like Ivey just doesn't want to be in Detroit. Maybe I don't know. Like he doesn't look like he's happy ever in Detroit anymore. And I feel like we've seen him obviously since he's been drafted and he's smiling, having a good time. But like since that injury and he's gotten back, again, I don't want to speculate or anything. We're not around the team or covering the team. And I would love to ask like Eric this, because I know Eric or even Kool-Aid, if he gives off just a different vibe, because it feels like he does, like from an outsider's perspective, it just looks like he doesn't want to be there. And this team is just, it's so good with or without him. And like even tonight's game, like I don't see him on the floor pretty much ever.
Yeah. And
I don't know if he's like, I don't want to say he's like pouting or anything, but you could just tell his energy isn't where some of these other guys are. And if you want to win a championship, man, 1 through 15 has to be like up and going. And like, dude, you see videos of after the game in the locker room and all that, and he just looks like he's just standing. And again, I hate that for him because he is such a good person and we know who Jaylen Ivey is. So I don't know if it's like affecting him in a bad way or not, but, and obviously like this guy's averaging before this injury, like 17 a game for like 3 years. So like now being at like 8 a game and not getting shots and not getting time, like it's probably a little wearing on him and a little like, oh no. So
yeah, he went from 17 points to 17 minutes. That's about what he's averaging a game. Yeah.
So put him in a position, like trade him and put him in a position to where he can blossom and kind of get into the right spot. Because it sucks that like you get hurt and your job gets taken. Like, yeah, that sucks, but sometimes that's life, you know? Like it's like in our job, like you miss a couple shows for a couple months or a couple weeks and someone steps in for you and they're elite. Like, I mean, we could like, dude, I remember my first 2 years in this business, I was scared. I took every opportunity possible because I was scared if someone else got that opportunity, I was going to lose my job. That's just, it's part of life, man, especially when you're at the highest level.
I lost my job.
Yeah,
I
dude.
lost my job. To Terry Foster. To be fair, Terry Foster, like, I mean,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But like, dude, like for me, dude, every time I got an opportunity where we were before at Woodward, like I remember I always said, yeah, I was sick going in, all of that. And I never wanted to miss. And I never did for like 2 or 3 years because I was like, as soon as I step away for one day, someone's going to step in my seat. And if they're better than me, boom, it's over. And you don't, until you're established, which obviously now you're better feeling, but like at that point, it's like, and it's like that for Jaylen Ivey. It's like, man, it's like that, dude. It's quick. It's like an NFL quarterback. Yeah. You guys ever hear those stories? NFL quarterbacks tell each other all the time, like starters, like, hey, dude, if you could play, because if a backup goes in and takes your job and plays well, your job is gone like that. You could be anyone. You're done.
Hey, it's not just that. It's they don't even let the backup sometimes get their reps. because they just don't even want to give the guy the reps. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? That's what it is. Because if I'm a starter, I ain't giving you my reps. Like,
Yeah.
there's no way. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking every single rep I can for that reason.
Obviously, this is all speculation. If Jaylen Ivey is, I mean, I'm sure he's upset with what's happening because in his head he's probably like, hey, I'm supposed to be the Robin to Cade's Batman. Like I'm supposed to be the dude. That I'm supposed to be a 15-point scorer. Be Cade's right hand man. But he's been given a good amount of opportunity, and like we've seen games where Cade's been out and Ivy started, and he didn't end up closing the game out because he just didn't play good minutes. There's been a lot of times where Jaylen Ivey's playing 17, 18, even 20 minutes a game, and they're just not very good minutes. And a lot of it is probably because, yes, he's coming back from injury. He's trying to get a feel for the game again, but we don't have time to wait around for him to do that. We're number 1 in the Eastern Conference. We're trying to make a push. The Eastern Conference is wide open. Dare I say the Eastern Conference, sucks, and we have a chance to win the Eastern Conference. We can't wait around for a guy like Jaylen Ivey. So if it were up to me today, and I know he's probably cheering at home.
Did you guys see, by the way, the Kyrie stuff?
I did see this. I don't think he's gonna play this year. Am I wrong about that?
I thought he comes back soon, or no? Am I?
That would be interesting if we can get a deal done for Kyrie Irving. That trade, I believe, would take a lot more than maybe most Pistons fans are comfortable with. That might include a guy like Asar Thompson. That would include a guy like Jaylen Ivey. But Kyrie Irving would, I mean, he would be perfect next to Cade Cunningham. Perfect. But I just don't know what that type of trade looks like. A couple of guys I'm interested in outside of the Trey Murphy and Michael Porter Jr. guys is basically everybody kind of on that Kings roster. You look at a guy like Keon Ellis, you look at a guy like Malik Monk, you can get Dennis Schroeder back. I know not a lot of people like him. I like Zach LaVine. I know he's making a lot of money. I wouldn't hate Zach LaVine. You could even try to go make a move for a guy like Sabonis to pair with Jalen Duren.
I did see today they are selling everyone right now.
It sounds like it's going to be a fire sale in Sacramento, and I think there's a lot of good impact players on that team. I would definitely go after a guy like Keon Ellis, really good perimeter defender. He could shoot it a little bit, and he could handle the basketball. But number one priority. Go ahead.
I'm all in on Trey Murphy.
Yeah, he's perfect. I feel like, and I don't know if you guys agree. I don't know if the chat. I feel like Trajan Langdon, and sometimes you don't want your GM to be in this situation, but he should feel pressured to make a move, especially because how wide open this Eastern Conference is. He should feel pressured to move on from guys that you probably should, like a guy like Jaylen Ivey. You have picks that you can give out. You have a lot of cap space that you could bring in. You have a trade exception, I believe, with what happened with Dennis Schroeder. So he should feel pressured to make a move that makes the Detroit Pistons better and for them to continue to be the favorite in the Eastern Conference because it's wide open, man. You could go to the NBA Finals this year.
You really could. Honestly, I think the Zach LaVine thing's interesting because is he on an expiring deal?
No, he has one more year after this. So we'd have him for the rest of this year and then next year.
And then you could trade
it's a
him
lot of money. It's around. You could trade him next year. It's a $50 million contract, which is tough to move. But I mean, he's a good offensive player, man. He's a good offensive player. I mean, he torches the Pistons every time they play. When he was in Chicago, I mean, it seemed like he dropped 50 points every time we played him. But I mean, those are names to look out for. Those guys.
I think he's a better fit than Sabonis.
Yeah, Sabonis is just that's probably bottom of my list from Sacramento, obviously, because you already have Jalen Duren. Sabonis doesn't stretch the floor very well, if not at all. But yeah, Sabonis would be last on my list from Sacramento, but definitely guys like Malik Monk, Keon Ellis, DeRozan, not as much because he's not a great 3-point shooter, but yeah, all those guys from Sacramento.
I think if you're going to go after someone, I think Zach LaVine's the problem. I don't know. I know the contract's disgusting, but fit wise, like he's probably the best fit. Like just go get a bucket guy, high efficiency shooter. Mm-hmm. I mean, athletic. I mean, he's kind of, I think him and Cade will work really well together. I don't know anyone else like Malik Monk. I like Malik Monk. I just, it feels like it would just be, I don't know. If you're looking for a big
move the needle, it doesn't move
probably
the needle
not as much as
for me.
Like.
And I'm not saying I want this like huge name, but I mean, why not? You have the pieces. Go get a Trey Murphy. Like,
by the way, I'm sorry that just sidetracked here. Do you guys know the Pistons fan that sits court or baseline that always wears like and he's the one that always has the interaction with these fans or with these players?
Yeah.
He
No,
remember
but
we
I'm getting chippy right now.
opening night. He wore like the full like. Dude, he just messaged us on Crunch Time. It was like, hey, I have my angle. I was the fan, and we've seen him. Like, he's kind of a legend. Like, everyone knows who he is. His name's Aaron. And he just messaged us. It was like, hey, I have my angle. When I get home, I'll send it to you boys, and you guys can post it. Just tag me.
Oh yeah.
And I was messaging back and forth with him. They show the TV, and he's just on his phone as he's messaging us back, and he's just on his phone messaging us back, and we'll watch him on the TV. I was just like, oh, it's kind of sick. Absolute legend, dude.
Banger.
Yeah, what a legend.
Yeah. But I'm gonna be sitting here all night waiting for that. I want that.
It was with KD, right? I was
KD, and he had one earlier this year with another player. I can't remember who it was, but he has all these interactions with fans. Like, it was a fan. It was who was it? It was like a fan that was like, "What did you just call me?" or something, and the player misunderstood what he said. But it went viral like an NBA world, and it was him.
Hey, KD's not afraid to chirp, man. He chirps.
No, KD goes crazy versus the Pistons.
He had a burner, and now he just uses his main account as a burner. He's not afraid to go at fans. Guys, let me say this about Kevin Durant, though. I mean, he is. We were just talking about it downstairs. Like, me and my friends, we were like, how much longer can Kevin Durant play? Because we're watching him play right now, and
forever.
He can play for 10 more years.
Dude,
his game doesn't require any athleticism. He is the best. Is he the best offensive player of all time?
Up there, yeah. He's one of the best.
He's the best. I think he's the best. Is he the best shot maker of all time? Because
shot maker, not shooter, but shot maker.
He's a 50, 40, 90 guy, Boone.
Yeah,
Steph Curry's the greatest shooter ever.
Steph.
Shot
maker, yeah.
Yeah.
One of the best pure scorers ever, for sure.
That's probably the better way to phrase it. Yeah.
I think he's just a pure scorer, man. Creator, maker.
I mean, you're looking at this
7
Houston
foot
team
with no weaknesses.
It's crazy.
Like,
this
savvy.
Houston team is scary, man. They're defensively, they're really good, and then you have Kevin Durant with the ball. With if you're in a tight game, he has the ball every possession with 2 minutes left. They're going to be tough to beat.
And it's crazy.
It's a good team.
Yeah, it's crazy. He's had you see a lot of guys get significant injuries and not come back he's had multiple significant injuries and he just comes back Kevin Durant. And he has actually said it before that. He was like, I could play forever. And he's like, I will.
I think he could. I'm not even I don't even think this is the last team he's going to play for. Like, no. I think he's going to move to another team and average 30 points on 50, 40, 90 for that team as well.
He's so good.
He is so damn good. And he had 32 points tonight. He
gives. I saw him drop like 60, I think, on the Pistons one night when I was in the building. It was one of the best scoring performances I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And he did it when you just didn't realize it happened. You're like, what? He has 50
It happened so fast. Boom. He's coming down on pin downs. Boom. Midi.
He makes everything.
In a fast break. Face three.
When he faced the Pistons, and he scores 40 so easily. I mean, he sprinkles in. It's like 13 free throws, like fucking 6 threes.
Yeah,
and you're like
15 for 24. Yeah. Like you're like,
what happened?
When did he shoot 24 shots? Like, when did that happen? You look up. Oh, KD has 70 points. When did that happen?
I've actually seen a lot of people drop 50 on the Pistons. Like, I saw Zach LaVine give the Pistons 50, and I was like, oh, jeez. Especially for a couple years.
Even this year,
Desmond Bain. Remember that?
Desmond Bain give him bucket. He had like 40, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he had 50. I think he
might have 50. Yeah, I feel like I've seen like 15 players give the Pistons 50 in my lifetime.
Yeah, me too. And especially these past couple years. Even this year, like we've had a lot of players score a lot of points against us, even though we're the second best defensive team in basketball. I don't know what it is about the Pistons or what it is about Little Caesars Arena. People just like to score in it. Especially the stars.
Thank you so much. Should we get into it?
I think we should. I'm incredibly nervous. I'm shaking.
So pick 'em. It's essentially if Jeff goes 2-0 this week, the Super Bowl set. Listen, okay, this is essentially what we're at right now at pick 'em. Caleb just needs to win one more game and he locks it in. He's good to go. Because right now, Caleb is 73, 75-1. Jeff is 71, 77-1. So Caleb, if you win one game this weekend, you're good. Jeff is last. So for Jeff,
how many wins do I have?
No,
73.
No. If he wins, I have to go 2-0.
2-0. Yeah. So if Caleb just gets one win, it's over.
No, it's not. If I get 2 wins,
there's only 2 games. So if he gets one,
Super Bowl's the tie. I thought if I go 2-0.
Yeah, if he gets one win this weekend,
it's not over. I can tie it with a Super Bowl.
No,
that's what you told me.
Oh yeah, you can.
No,
Yeah,
because
you can.
it's 73 and 71. If he gets a win, it's 74 with 2 games left. You won't be able to catch up.
So I lost already.
No.
No, Booner, listen. So let's say I go 1-2 and Jeff goes 3-0.
There's 2 games.
There's 3
only
games
2
left.
There's 2 games this weekend, I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm
but
talking
there's 3
about
games
weekend.
left.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
I'm confused. But I'm done if he wins 1 game.
No, so if you fade
I
me
think
and I
you
go,
just butchered that math. I think.
I think I'm right.
If I go 1-2 for these last 3 games, the 2 championship games in the Super Bowl, and Jeff goes 3-0, we tie.
Oh yeah. Well, that's it.
So
That
I
means
need to
Jeff
win.
could pick one of the same games as you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I-
me and Jeff
why am I
actually.
doing it this week?
But
'Cause I
Jeff,
have-
if I was Jeff, I would fade and hope that you go 0-2.
Yeah. Because now I know why. Because we added a game. I'm down by an extra game. Because I remember going into it. If I went 2-0, we were doing the math, and you win 1-1. It's going to the Super Bowl. It's for the tie. But then recounted, I'm down an extra game.
Well, you're down 2 games right now with 3 to left. So yeah, there is a world to where if Caleb goes 1-1 this weekend and you go, see, that's where it's weird. If you go 1-1,
Booner, are you break this
Hold
down
on.
because you're fucking me up.
I'm
if I
so
go-
confused.
This is what it is.
you're 2 games back. That's all I know.
If I go 0-2, Jeff goes 2-0 this weekend. We're tied going into the
Tied,
Super
and then
Bowl.
the Super Bowl winner wins it all.
If I go 1-1 and Jeff goes 2-0,
Yeah,
you
that's
have
what
to-
I'm saying.
I have to win out.
How does it? Jeff has to go 2-0.
Jeff has to win out to at least tie.
Yes, right? Yeah, because then if
No,
you
if
win
I
one,
go 1-3, if I go 1-3, he goes 3-0. He
he
wins
wins
that
it. Yes,
week. Dude.
but then if you go 2-1 and he goes 2-1, you win. That's why I think if you win 1 game, I think it's over. I don't know.
No, it's
it's not over. If I
Unless
win 1 game,
Jeff takes one of the if Jeff takes the loser, the only way for Jeff to not for you to
I have to go 3-0.
yeah, Jeff has to go
If
3-0.
Caleb wins 1 game and I go 3-0, I'm down 2 right now.
But if you pick the same game as him, you have to hope that's the winner that you pick, and then his other game's a loser, or you're done.
I have to fade. I don't have to just fade Caleb on everything. I have to go undefeated. So, but I can't have both picks the same as Caleb.
No,
I
if you
have
have
to
both
have-
picks the same as Caleb, it's over.
Yes, but I don't. I can go.
But
I
you,
can
so
pick
you have
one
to
of-
choose wisely. You have to choose really
Yeah,
wisely.
Caleb could win 1 this week, and I could win 2 and tail one.
But
of
what
them.
happens? Let me break this down for you. What happens if you end up picking like Patriots Denver? If you pick the same as him, and you have a one that you love in the second game, and he takes that one from you,
Then I have to fade. I have to fade that.
you have to. That's a big decision, though.
Yeah, because
you were
either
like-
way-
Yeah.
unless I love, yeah. Okay, see, this is
You
why
know, you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like you got to be strategic a little bit because you have to be strategic. If I was you, honestly, I would just fade them both. Like I would
But
just
that,
fade
I
'em.
did that. But here's the thing: you told me that bad advice because I took your advice and I'm down an extra game because of it. Because I would have took Texans against the Steelers, and technically I'd have a chance to win if I took this. If I took the Texans, so now I'm in a worse position. I'm in a worse position because of that philosophy. So
Don't blame me. Come on.
I have to go 3-0. Bottom line, and
You
have
just
to win
blame
one
me.
game. And you have to win 1 game. That's it. That's literally it. 3-0. You have to win 1 only, and we're in it. We're good.
and I'm nervous.
And by the way, this last weekend I have clinched the championship back to back, two-time champion, pick'em champion.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. That's all I wanted to hear. And we will get a belt as well for it too. We'll get a
Next
belt.
year, I'm coming back.
I
with
went
a
0-4
fucking
last
belt.
weekend.
And on the belt, it will have the champions on the belt. We will find a site that customs belts. I'll take the belt.
I got complacent, and it caught up to me. Now next year, I'm coming back with a vengeance. I'm coming back with a vengeance. Let's start this thing. Go ahead. Read
do
them
it.
off, dude. Let's see
All
what
right.
Caleb wants to do. This is gonna be how it is, man.
I'll just give my pick so I'll stay out of it, and I'll let you guys do your guys' thing. First game, New England Patriots on the road versus the Denver Broncos. Broncos starting Jarrett Stidham. Obviously, we all know that. Bo Nix out for the rest of the season. The Patriots are 4.5-point favorites. The Patriots are 4.5-point favorites. I will do this. Give me the New England Patriots. minus 4.5. I think they win this game by a touchdown.
Oh man.
Caleb?
Yeah, look. It would be incredibly silly of me to take a backup quarterback when not necessarily my back's against the ball, but when I have a lot of pressure on me, and to put basically everything on the line for a backup quarterback. That's stupid to do. Am I right, guys? That'd be stupid. That'd be dumb.
I'm not. I like the Broncos defense a lot. This is a 50-50 pick in my opinion. I think both of these games are.
Here's
so I
the
don't
deal.
think anything's stupid.
Drake May's been Mr. Turnover lately. Why is he turning the ball over so much? And he's playing a really, really good defense this weekend. So I'm going to take the Broncos here and Jared Stidham. I'm going to take the Broncos plus 4.5. It's really, really weird that I'm picking a backup quarterback to cover this game at a 4.5 point spread, but I'm not sure because I'm assuming that spread probably would have been minus 4.5 if Bo Nix played. I don't know if Bo Nix is 8.5 points better than Jared Stidham is. So I'm going to take the Broncos plus 4.5 and be scared the entire time Jared Stidham has the football. But I'm going to take the Broncos here. Oh,
Patriots. Give me the Patriots here.
Did you like the Patriots before?
I did. I was thinking, I thought you were to go Patriots. So I was preparing myself to take the Broncos. I feel better about this fade because Jared Stidham has not started in a football game in 2 years. So I think this could go really south. Like, I think they could either keep it close or you could look at the end of the game and the Broncos have like 7 points, or 3 points.
Patriots have a really good defense too. And Christian Gonzalez is playing. Like, it
could happen, but like, I don't think the Broncos have the playmakers to elevate Jared Stidham. They don't have the playmakers to elevate him. You know what I'm saying?
My confidence with the Patriots is the fact that it's gonna end up being, because there's two really good defenses, it's going to end up being what offense is better. It's going to be a low-scoring game, like a 17-10 game, a 17-7 game. It's going to be what offense is better. I would take the Patriots offense with Drake May over Jared Stidham. And I'm not saying like the Broncos defense isn't going to play well. They're going to play really good. And I bet you Drake May turns the ball over a few times. But you saw last week with Drake May with a really good Houston Texans defense, who I believe both, or you, Caleb, I think you took the Texans because of their defense. And that was one of the big points with everyone is taking the Texans because of that. And Drake May turned the ball over 4 times, but the Patriots defense is so good. They forced 5 turnovers and they still won the game by like 10 points. Then it's like, I feel like they do the same thing with Denver.
It's going to be a good game. I'm not saying Caleb's bad. I'm just saying.
I think it's going to be like a 14-7 or like a 17-10.
Yeah, I just think too, like with last week with Drake May versus the Texans, obviously CJ Stroud played absolutely abysmal.
Yeah, but now you're talking about Jared Stidham.
I'm not saying that Stidham is better than CJ Stroud, but I trust
no.
With bad quarterback play and knowing you're not going to get a lot out of the quarterback position.
I trust film on him.
I trust Sean Payton more than I trust DeMeco Ryans with
film on him. He played in New England.
But he hasn't played in a while.
If anyone in the league probably knows the most about Jared Stidham, I'm sure it's the Patriots organization.
But it's not even the same.
Or Sean Payton, who has him right now as coach.
Yeah, but I'm saying outside of that in the NFL.
It's not like dude, how many players from the Belichick era right now are still on that New England team?
Hey, listen, I don't like this Mike Vrabel disrespect.
Josh McDaniels,
no, it's not. It's not Mike Vrabel disrespect, but they just don't have Belichick or anything anymore.
Josh McDaniels, Mike. Josh
McDaniels drafted him.
All right. We got.
All right, Caleb just will. No. All right. I don't know if you drafted him. I was a complete lie. All right. Next game, the Rams are on the road versus Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks are 2.5 point favorites. Let me check these lines too. I did this like a couple hours ago, so these lines could have moved. It's actually 3.5 now. I'm kidding. It's still 2.5. Give me the Los Angeles Rams. They're 2.5 point underdogs in Seattle. I think the Rams win this game today or this weekend, boys. I know it sounds crazy. But the only reason I want to do that is because I saw Oz the Mentalist did a thing with the Rams earlier in the year, and he had the Rams winning the Super Bowl.
I saw that. That guy's a fucking crazy person.
Yeah, I honestly I think he's from a different planet, or I think he actually is like from the future. And I think that's how he figures all these things out. So I'm just gonna go with the Rams plus 2.5 here. I have nothing to play for. I'm just out here having fun. So Caleb, you're up.
Yeah, I have a lot to play for, and this is just a pick. I'm going to fade the public. I'm going to take the Rams plus 2.5. I think they're going to win the Super Bowl. I just think this offense has to really start clicking now. I know I said that last week, and they still didn't look that great. It was shitty weather in Chicago, but again, the offense didn't look that great. I'm going to take the Rams here plus 2.5. I know that Seattle defense, it's really nasty. They blew out the 49ers, but I'm going to take the Rams here. I trust Stafford more than I trust Sam Darnold.
This is a big pick. This is a huge pick. Do you trust the Seattle Seahawks defense, Jeff? Or are you on Matthew Stafford? Because that defense is something.
If it was 3.5, I would think about it. It's 2.5. I'm gonna rock with the Rams. I'm gonna tell.
Wait, what? The
Yeah, that
Rams
makes
are
no sense.
underdogs.
Yeah, that didn't make sense.
Or if it was whatever. Okay,
Yeah.
Give me the
Yeah, you just want the Rams.
Rams are gonna win this game outright. So
Jeff, come on, man, make it fun. Take the Seahawks.
no. This one, I was hoping you would try and be like the smartest guy in the room and take the Seahawks, but you just decided to go with because I can't go against my belief. This is the one I got to go 2-0, and this is the 2-0 pick. I think the Patriots win, Rams win, they both cover. I'm 2-0. We're going into the Super Bowl, and I'm going to have to fade you in the Super Bowl.
We're going to have to, too, by the way, for the Super Bowl, if this works out where Jeff goes 2-0 here this weekend and he's one game back, and then if he wins it ties, and we have to, because the Super Bowl will be in 2 weeks. You have a week off in the Super Bowl. Next week, we're going to have to do Pick'em Friday, and you two. I'm not going to give my Super Bowl pick until Super Bowl week. You two have to give your Super Bowl pick next week. And we have to figure out a tiebreaker because we need to order you guys. If this happens, we need to order you guys gear for your team you're rooting for, so it has time to get in.
Or like a jersey from each.
It's going to be a jersey and a chain and like a hat. Like you guys, we're gonna get you guys decked out in that gear if this happens. And then also we have to figure out a tiebreaker if that. But that's why I'm like, I really hope Jeff goes 2-0 because I want to see. I think it would be very entertaining. It'll be fun.
Yeah. I also have a Rams Super Bowl ticket, so if that cashes, that'd be nice.
It would suck if you have to wear like a Patriots gear and you have a Rams Super Bowl ticket.
Well, okay. We also need to discuss this before we wrap it up here. We'll
spin a wheel.
Okay.
Who picks first? We'll spin a wheel.
Okay. If that happens, Jeff, let me take the Rams.
Jeff loves the Rams, though. That's the thing.
You're a piece of shit.
Okay.
That's what you are, Caleb.
If I was Jeff, I would purposely go pick the Rams. So you.
Well, oh yeah, because it'll be spun. Oh yeah. Oh
yeah, because if it happens.
So I get to dictate. I could dictate the Super Bowl. That would be devastating though if I dictate it and I lose.
Well, technically, Caleb would. If you go 2-0, technically Caleb still has the lead, so he would pick first. But I think just content-wise, I think we spin a wheel for the pick. Just because it's
no, you can't.
I think we have to.
That.
We have to.
No. If I'm technically in first, then I pick first.
Dude, Caleb, sometimes people have to step up for that's such a good content move.
But Caleb, you'd be up one, like it would be to tie. You know, wouldn't that be how that would be?
What do you mean?
Like,
what do you do? So there's no way I could even clinch it this weekend because Jeff tailed me on a pick.
No, you could. If Jeff goes 1-1, it's over.
No,
Jeff,
if I just went over this.
No, Caleb. Jeff, no matter what, Jeff has to go 2-0.
No, that's not.
Yes, it is. Caleb. Yes, it is.
If I have to go 2-0, and you have to win one game. And if you lose, then I'm looking in a better spot. If you lose,
he's down 2.
Yeah, you have to lose. You have to lose the Broncos pick, and then we both have to win the Rams. I have to
wait. If Jeff, yeah, because wait a second. Hold on. Scenario here. Jeff. No, actually, Caleb might be right.
What are you talking about?
Let me think about this real quick. So if you win the Pats game, right?
Yes.
You're 72-77. No, yeah. There's no way.
What are you talking
Jeff
about?
has to go 2-0.
So if I go 2-0, I
have to go 2-0. Yeah.
If you go 2-0, you clinch.
If the Broncos and the Rams cover.
If the Broncos cover, it's over right away.
Yeah, it's over.
Not over. We could. Oh yeah.
No,
you're right.
it's
I
over.
have to
Because
go
you're if the Broncos cover, you're
Holy
up.
shit.
You're up
I
3
swear-
if the Broncos cover with
Dude,
2 games
all
left.
right. I mean, this is great. I mean,
And then if the Pats cover, you're up 1. And then if the Rams cover, you're up 1 going into the Super Bowl. And that's when things get a little. Jeff could tie it, and we could.
we'd have to do like a tie-breaking thing or something.
I really wish Jeff faded you both so that he could go 2-0, and then it could be tied, and the winner comes out of the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but then I could get eliminated right now, and I don't want that. I just want to hold on.
Enjoy
Bro.
a Sunday.
I just want to hold on, bro. I
You
just
could
wanna
be
hold on.
eliminated by 6 o'clock on Sunday.
That means if I tie the Super Bowl, we come up with something to where me and Caleb have to do to compete.
Yeah, that's why next week so next Friday or maybe we do it earlier in the week so we can order gear if this happens. So because gear might take like a week
No,
or
I'm
2 to
saying
come
Super Bowl. I win the Super Bowl, we're tied.
If you win the Super Bowl, you're tied. We have to figure out a tiebreaker, which
That's
I'll
what
have to, as the commissioner, I'll take all ideas, but we got to come up with something.
You're coming to McDonald's with me. That's the time. That's the time.
Maybe we go back and look at playoff record.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, I
What do
would
you
win that. I think.
What?
You could. You had like a bad week in the playoffs a couple weeks ago.
No, this week I went 0-4, but I went like 5-1 the week before, so that would make Jeff.
Maybe yeah. Maybe
I don't know. I don't know.
We shouldn't
We'll
do
figure it
just
out.
records. We should do an actual fucking challenge. I want to compete against Caleb. Let's not. Get
Maybe we'll get you each a hot and ready, and whoever finishes it first.
Come on, dude. I'd smoke him. We could
Yeah,
do.
that's-
We could do.
Oh,
You should.
I
Jeff's
don't
a good
know.
eater, bro. Jeff's a fast eater.
Hey, Caleb.
We could hoop, Jeff.
No, I think the Little Caesars actually might be a little like I like that. I actually really like the.
No, I know we're eating because then you got to lose and then eat again. That's fucked.
Yeah, it's tough,
that's
man. It's the way of
terrible,
We
life.
should do something. I mean, we could do something for sure. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, the commissioner will. I'll make the final decision on it. But
That's fine. Hey, appreciate you all. Much love this week. You know what? We got Boone back. We got Caleb to do the pick'em. So we'll see what happens. Think of me when you guys are watching the playoffs. Think of me and Caleb and our pick'em and what's going on. But until Monday, we will catch you all. Peace.
love you guys.
Peace.